This is where Arizona connects with a worldwide leader in sports. ESPN 620. KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi, the big.
It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Well, the Cubs cut the head off the snake. The unwritten rules of baseball, they just suck. And the Cardinals and Packers this coming weekend on Friday. Welcome in, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Hanging out today here at Wright Honda in Scottsdale, right on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. We are here today on a glorious Tuesday.
Yeah, they got some great deals that are going through till the end of August. You got just several more days, folks. How about no payments for 90 days through Honda Financial for qualified buyers? How about 0.99% for 36 months on both the CRV gas and hybrid models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers? Or 2.49% for 36 months on Accord gas models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers. And last but not least, Jimmy B,
Okay.
1.49% for 36 months on all. Did I say all?
You did.
Yeah, all HRV models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers. Again, that's going through the end of August. So I get your funds down here ASAP. We're down here on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, just east of 78th Street. Come on down. Jimmy and I are back in the showroom. Come through the front doors, take a hard left, another hard left, and there we are in all of our glory, bringing you Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, fans, let's go for it right now. I don't give two poops how crappy the game was last night if you're a Diamondback fan. I'm pissed. Manuch, this is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard, is that Merrill Kelly, after he gets beat, throws 100 pitches, gets taken out of the game. The Cubs shut out the D-backs, and he is bitching about a third base coach possibly stealing his signs. The unwritten rules of baseball are the absolute worst. And when he talked about that, he said, well, normally it's the players, but I've never seen a third base. What the hell are you talking about? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Welcome to baseball, Merrill Kelly.
Golly,
Now,
man, everybody does that.
I would say, in fairness, it is rare. It is very, very rare that you do have a third base coach or base coach doing that, because it can be somewhat obvious. Now, that's why they got the box there. I think they extended the third base and first base box a little bit. Anyways,
box, yeah.
Long story short, I agree with you. Coming out of the game, he should be upset about himself.
Yes.
You talked about Heath Daniel threw 100 pitches in 5 2/3 innings.
You got it.
And whether you're tipping pitches or a base runner or a third base coach is tipping signs one way or the other, then take care of it. Take care of it. Plunk the guy that's up there. If you want to get a message across, plunk the next hitter. Say, look, we know what you're trying to do. It's called gamesmanship. It's called baseball. And when you watched it and they showed it over and over again, it wasn't so much that the third base coach, Barry, was flashing signs at the batter. There was a runner at second base.
Yeah.
He was flashing them to him, and then he was relaying it to home plate if he relayed.
Right.
But it's part of the game.
Yes.
I found it very amusing, or he said, well, it's Bush League. It happens all the time.
All the time.
Now, you might have more high-tech situations like Houston.
Yeah, I was just going to say like the Astros.
Or Boston,
Yeah.
who did it all throughout. But number one, to step off the mound and look at the guy, it's like, get on the mound and pitch. And if he's picking up signs or whatever, change your signs up.
Signs.
Change your way you approach your changeup if that's who's going after. it just is so amusing to me that they were all upset about stealing the signs. You know what it is? It is some of the greatest art forms of all. As far as I thought that Mark Grace did a great job of describing how you might relay the pitch to the batter.
Yeah.
If it's a fastball, you'll stand up straight. If it's a curveball, you might crouch more.
A little bit. Yeah.
Or if it's an off speed, whatever they do for the signs,
Tap the helmet.
Just take care of it.
Yeah.
And you know what? If that's not doing it, plunk the next guy up. Send him down to first base. All right, message sent. All right, that's how we'll deal with it. I just find it very amusing that this has been going on forever.
Yes.
And then Merrill Kelly, who's like, for the month of June and July, and now August, is sitting there bitching and moaning, complaining, and then calling it Bush League after the game. Just deal with it. I have an understanding what they were doing. I got to take care of it. Now, I did say maybe I got to work on not tipping my changeup.
Well,
if that's the pitch they were working on.
Yeah. Look, to me, the Cubs are a better team. There's just
hitters galore.
No doubt about that. They're just a better team. I thought I was watching a Cubs home game last night, to be honest with you. Hey, lads, were you at that game? Because I know that you were going to go, but I couldn't remember if you went last night or not.
Oh, I was there. I grabbed myself a nice handicap seat, stretched out the leg a little bit. And you heard me. We were starting the MVP chants, the Go Cubs Go. We were singing Go Cubs Go on the way out. We made sure we turned that place into Wrigley Southwest.
I got to tell you, Laz, he called it yesterday.
He did.
So Roc and I are talking about the game, and I said, hey, Laz, your Cubbies here, they've lost 6 out of the last 10. They've been giving up on average 5 runs per game the last 10 games. They gave up 50 runs the last 10 games. Laz goes, no, nothing to see here. We're going to we're going to go ahead and kick their butt. We're going to sweep them on and on and on. Yeah. So we got to give you your glory when they actually mix in a win once in a while.
Well, that's just me being facetious, but I'm joking, but not joking. I always have faith in the Chicago Cubbies. But yeah, I mean, it's different with the Dodgers. The Dodgers fans load out there, but you play 15, 20 games against the D-backs at Chase Field. You get 3 games for all those snowbirds, all those Chicago fans who live in Arizona to come out. Yeah. So they make sure they're there for those 3 games. So it feels a little bit different.
Well, stop chanting MVP because your boy Crow Armstrong will go for 5, man.
I mean, hey, it shows that you don't need the MVP to win every game 7-0.
Unbelievable. Same 2 teams play again tonight downtown at the Yard. Manuch, I was just so frustrated when I heard those comments. I just had to begin the show with that. I'm not a fan of the so-called unwritten rules of baseball because there shouldn't be any.
Well, there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them that are basically unwritten. Number one, unwritten rule: don't take a called third strike ever. Full count: don't ever take a called third strike. Don't get picked off at second or third when a runner's in scoring position with 1 out or less. I mean, it's just baseball common sense is all it is. I mean, the unwritten rules are. It's also like, when the guy's got a perfect game going.
Don't bunt.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Well, you can bunt up until the 8th inning. Okay. 8th or 9th. At that point, you're trying to get on. But if it's the 8th inning and a guy's got it, I'll say this up until the 9th.
Okay.
So if a guy's got
I'm okay with that.
If he's got a perfect game going, it's more of a perfect game.
Yeah.
And you want a bunt to get on, that's when it's frowned upon. There's an unwritten rule there as far as it being frowned upon. Another unwritten rule: if a guy's throwing a no-hitter, a perfect game, don't talk about it in the dugout to that pitcher, or nobody talk about it, period. Oh, yeah, when I was playing baseball those years, especially the older you get and the higher you go, those are no-nos, man.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't talk about it. So otherwise, get over it, folks. It's part of baseball, whether it's a third base coach, first base coach, guy at second base, guy at third base. If he's picking up you're tipping your pitches, or he's picking something up that you can relay to the batter, more power to you. Just stop it, change your signs, mix them up, or plunk them. Let them know, hey, what you're doing, we don't like it, even though it's unwritten, can't find it in the rule book, just plunk them. Send a message to the other dugout.
There was more on Ketel Marte last night as the questions continue to fly at Torey Lovullo, the skipper of the D-backs. He really didn't get into anything concrete, but it is our State 48 Roofing Get Your Call question of the day. Hey, look, storm season's here. We've all seen some damage that has taken place when we've gotten some of those storms. Don't wait. Get in contact with State 48 Roofing today. You get a free roof inspection. and you can keep that roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Here's all you have to do. Just go online, state48roofing.com. Again, that's state48roofing.com. Or just call them at 480-268-4828, 480-268-4828. It's State 48 Roofing. All right, with 5 weeks left in the season, are the D-backs better off without Cattell Marte?
With or without?
With or without.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. Without Cattell
there you go.
Marte.
Attaboy, Jimmy.
Yeah, you have two options. Without, too big of a distraction, or with, he's an all-star. I think you kind of know, Manuch, when I read that, where I'm leading here, okay?
Yeah, just go to at Roc and Manuch on X or at Roc and Manuch on Instagram. Yeah, with or without, let that marinate. I'm like, I'll let you know a little bit later, but I'm no hesitation with where I'm going to go. We'll dive into this a little bit later on. We talk about the D-backs, where they're at, and so also they are just another couple tidbit. Brad has gone down to Reno.
Yeah.
He's off, and then Soroka, your other starter, has on the 15-day IL. So all they have right now are 3 starters, Jimmy B. Ryan Nelson's out.
Yep.
Corbin Burns, they don't know if he's coming back within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever that is. And so basically you've got Kelly, you got Erod, and Fott. Those are your 3.
That's it.
Where are you at after that?
Bullpen.
Could you imagine that if Nelson, Soroka, Burns, that there's nobody of him because they got rid of Liddell. They designated for assignment him.
Yeah.
He's gone. You imagine you're in a race for the wild card spot, and on the 4th game, you got to go with a bullpen. Oh, excuse me. You got to go with a starter. Excuse me, opener. I'm sorry.
An opener.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, another unwritten rule.
Yeah.
You got to go with an opener
Yeah.
and then have a bullpen. I got to tell you what. It's almost embarrassing and it's almost unfortunate at the same time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, injuries. Soroka's back. He's down again. Ryan Nelson probably not going to come back. Zach Gallen's probably not going to come back. The only saving grace you have, the only I could think is who was the other kid that came up, Laz, that was up for just a little bit? He started a couple games and said, nah, he's not right. I forgot.
I'll think of it one second.
Yeah.
But he's not ready.
No, he's not ready. Now, the only I can think of is if Brad's got to go down for a couple of starts to get him straightened out, like Fott did, and then maybe they bring him up in 2 weeks. They can survive the next 2 weeks without a 4th guy, and they send him down to Reno for maybe 2.
Jose Cabrera.
Cabrera, thank you. Appreciate that. They send him down. Or if they feel Cabrera is got things straightened out, bring him back up. So, Laz, during the break, just check on Cabrera, what his status is, and if this Diamondback team brings anybody up. And then also, Lourdes Gurriel is also very close to coming back. So who do you send down at that point in time? With Lawler starting to hit the ball again.
He is.
I know about Locklear, hasn't played a lot. Tawa's pretty much taken over that first base position. Vargas is playing good baseball no matter whether he's at second, no matter if he's at first, no matter if he's tending to the towels in the locker room, whatever the heck that guy is doing. Talk about an MVP for the team this year. I mean, Ildemaro Vargas got to be right there in the hunt. So this team's in a little bit of a hurt with their medications.
All right, we want to remind everybody that starting in September, we're going to be live at DraftKings, TPC Scottsdale. It's going to be our home on Fridays. Cannot wait. And every Friday from 2 until 3, it's going to be the Arizona College Football Hour. We're going to take you inside the huddle. We're going to have interviews with coaches, players. Legendary coach Charlie Regal is going to join us as well. We'll do U of A, ASU, NAU. We'll dive into the Pac-12. We'll dive into the Big 12. We will cover everything during that hour. Once again, starting in September, Fridays 2 to 3, the Arizona College Football Hour. It's all presented by our great partnership with Crest Insurance. Crest Insurance, once again, joining us on the show. All right, coming up, it's our Replay Rewind. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At White Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WhiteToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WhiteToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WhiteToyota.com.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat. Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday Football Lock-In. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday Football Lock-In. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
If you're running late to work, speeding may seem like the faster option, but it can actually slow you down. Speeding puts you, your loved ones, and everyone else on the road at risk. It's a dangerous habit that can lead to crashes, fines, and even fatalities. Remember, speeding makes it harder to stop quickly for pedestrians, road crews, or even the unexpected. Speeding is illegal. Slowing down saves lives. For more information, visit slowdown.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
And on the street, the traffic starts jumping. Folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Getting by. It's all taking and no giving. Just use your mind. Give you credit. Enough to try you. For service.
God bless you, Dolly Parton. We all love you. There you go. Rest in peace. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. The last month or so, she's been saying she's not on tour because she's got some health issues, right? And then, interesting, last night she came out with a statement and said, "Hey, look, I'm hoping to be back out there, but just health issues I didn't take care of when her husband was dying." And it was like, and then you get this afternoon, late this morning, that she had passed. It was like her saying goodbye without saying goodbye. She had some health issues. Yeah. She neglected, on. And she had said that, like, I'm saying the last 3 months, at least once or twice a month, that she's hoping to get out there. And she did a phenomenal job. As you know, she was a phenomenal philanthropist, that she put a lot of money. She just donated like $1 million to one fund, another $1 million to Dollywood. Yep. And she's been doing a lot of things. But you're right, Jimmy. She was to watch her live. I saw her and Kenny Rogers live. Okay. Phenomenal.
Islands in the street.
Oh, it was just amazing. So what a good-hearted person who did a lot of good for America, and especially for the folks in Tennessee.
There you go. All right, let's get to our replay rewind. We'll begin with the D-backs game from last night. Things did not start well for the Diamondbacks, and that pretty much went downhill from there. Let's pick it up in the top of the 6th inning right here.
Now Conforto hammers it deep to right. That thing is way gone. And the Cubs, they double the lead. It's now 4-0.
Also, still in the top of the sixth inning, more trouble right now.
Here's the pitch. Carson swings. This is trouble. 6th home run of the year allowed by Taylor Clark. It's the 8th home run hit of the season by Kelly. They go back-to-back. And it's now 5-0 Cubs.
You know, Carson Kelly, former D-back,
Yeah.
has come back to haunt this Arizona Diamondbacks team a couple of times. Kelly gives up the first one. Clark gives up that second one. And there it is, pretty much game, set, match at that point in time. Cubbies are up 6-0. And basically look at Kelly, another dinger. You know, you think about, you know, to put the runners on, and then for Clark to give up the back-to-back home runs like that after Kelly threw about almost 99 pitches is what he threw. So Kelly comes in, gives up 3 base hits,
And he went 5 2/3.
5 2/3, and struggled. So when he gave the ball up, basically it's 2-0. Pitching a decent game, and only down 2-0. But Clark comes in, and I might have let him finish that out because Clark came in, gave up those back-to-back home runs to make it 4-0.
Thank you to Arizona Sports, by the way, for all of the sound on the game last night. Let's head to the locker room right now. Here's what Torey Lavella had to say.
That was a tough game. You know, we were in it, staying in it. Merrill was doing a good job of making pitches and pitching in the 6th inning. I thought he deserved pitching in that 6th inning. We had him a little bit covered with Clarkie, and it just unraveled from there, from, you know, the 6th inning through those 6th, 7th, and 8th innings where they broke the game open. You know, the Cubs are a good baseball team. So are we. We got to be able to play our game, do the things that we do best, and that's control counts, get on base, create some traffic, slug. We just couldn't get anything going today. Their starting pitcher was very effective. You know, he's basically a 2-pitch pitcher, was driving his fastball on both sides of the plate, throwing, you know, splits off of that. And the fastball was alive and had a little extra hop to it. And he was pretty dominant with that pitch and kept us off balance. So he threw 7 scoreless innings. And, you know, we got to be a little bit better offensively. And I believe that we'll come out tomorrow and play our finest game.
Yeah, you look at Kelly, and he is right. His numbers were pretty good. I mean,
yeah,
you know, that the 1 home run, the 2 runs were, the one was basically his. You look at it, but 5 2/3, 99 pitches, 60 strikes, had the 4 Ks. Again, it's the walks that really put the runner on there in that 6th inning when you saw Conforto's first home run, and then Carson Kelly comes up and hits it deep off of Clark. Clark's numbers, he got 1 out. 2 hits, those both home runs, 8 pitches, 6 strikes, but he's out of the game because Jamison came in after that. So once again, you're pretty much handing the ball over, and it's 2-0, and Clark comes in and gives up the 1 home run. There lies, you double it up at 4-0.
And
again,
they light him up.
They light him up. The bullpen lets this team down once again.
Okay, let us move on then. The Ketel Marte story is not going away, and for obvious reasons. I'm sure that Torey just hates getting asked the questions in the locker room after each game, but this is what he had to say when he was asked how difficult it might be for Ketel to rejoin the team.
It just probably depends on the individual. Yeah, we're trying to create the softest space for him to reemerge back into this environment, and that's up to him however he wants to do it. I cannot force a human being to do something that I want to do or anybody in this room wants to do or a fan wants to do. You know, one of the things that made Ketel such an extraordinary player is that he goes to the beat of his own drum, and I respect that. I don't know some of the answers to that question because I've talked to just about every player, and I know how they feel, but it's a very individualized situation. How are you taking this day by day, and what are you willing to do to help is the mindset in that clubhouse. With Ketel, he's very private and he's very quiet, and it's hard to extract information from him. And we all know that we can retreat. If we go back to disagreements that we've had with loved ones or family members, brothers, sisters, parents, you know, sometimes you pull back and you want to just retreat and survey. maybe that's what he's done. So I have not talked to him, but the one day at Salt River, and I'm allowing him to have his space. When it's time, it'll be time.
What do you make of that?
I'm very disappointed, Torey Lovullo, with that comment. I don't agree with that at all. Guys got to pull back, have space. I think the tone should have been, we need him here. What he did was unacceptable. We're talking about it right now in reference to how we proceed without Ketel Marte or with Ketel Marte versus, basically enabling him, entitling him. Well, some of your kids say they retreat. It's such a mea culpa for Ketel Marte and kind of like backing what his issues or concerns were. I'm sorry, Torey. I respectfully disagree. It's like, here's the deal. I got 26 guys. When Ketel, if he decides one way or the other what we're going to do, we're in conversation, and I'll leave it at that. It's such a soft sell for what he's talking about. It's almost like, he has his moments, and that's just who he is. He's kind of private, and I hear that, and I as a former athlete,
yes,
being accountable, responsible for your coach to coddle you or entitle you or basically kind of wrap his arm. Hey, it's going to be okay. We're all good to go. Hey man, if I'm at veteran in there, I'm like, hey Torey, this is BS, man.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
And if I was in the shape of Nolan Arenado, I'd be all over. I said, we need to talk. That kid needs to get in here. Why hasn't he been in here yet? He had a chance Sunday. Nowhere to be found Sunday.
Right.
We need to close the door and have it out with him because we got to be able to rely on this guy.
He hasn't been to the stadium on this whole
No. And if you're kind of soft selling, well, you know what? There's some things that happen and blah, blah, blah. And, I'd like, oh my gosh, just the soupy, syrupy comments were just amazing.
Is he caught between a rock and a hard place?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Either you have principles,
Okay.
you have guidelines,
Okay.
you have the code of conduct. Either, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And I believe, if Torey and this organization continue to coddle and allow this to continue, that organization is going to lose all kinds of respect, not only here, but across Major League Baseball. So I guarantee there are people watching what the Diamondbacks do
That's fair.
or don't do to the effect of how you handle it, because you got to stand up and say this is wrong. It's been wrong 3 or 4 times. So what else is out there? You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a stand. Good luck. We're going to put you on the IL for the rest of the season. I'm going to go with these other. I'm going to bring 26 guys in here, expand the roster, and we're going to live or die. And if it costs me my job, at least I stood on a principle.
You stood on a principle.
A principle that I believe in.
Yeah.
Versus waffling back and forth.
Hey, today's sound is presented today by Lerner and Rowe. If you're in a wreck, then you need to check. Just make one call at 602-977-190. Always online at lernerandrowe.com. One call, that's all. Lerner and Rowe, 602-977-1900. When we come back, Nick Piecoro is going to join us. We are going to dive into the game, dive into the Marte scenarios as well, and also what was said about the unwritten rules of baseball. Can't wait for this. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs were shut out 7-0 by the Cubs last night as they dropped the first of 3 from Chase Field. But Arizona will look to bounce back tonight and even the series at a game apiece as they try to pick up ground in what is a tight National League wildcard race. Brandon Pfaadt will get the start for the Snakes with first pitch set for 6:40 and pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Sports Update is driven by Wright Honda. Huge selection, no games, no pressure. Visit Wright Honda at 7875 East Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, just across from TPC Scottsdale, or shop anytime at wrighthonda.com. That's at wrighthonda.com. T-Backs beat writer Nick Piecoro will join the guys next.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Action! When I grow up, I want to be a director because they get to talk to everybody about everything. They get to make cool movies and dance music videos.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
And when I'm a director, I get to say, lights, camera, action.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
That's a wrap.
You my little boo thing, so I'll give up what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next.
Live at Wright Honda in Scottsdale. New used certified pre-owned. Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Go find yours here or online at wrighthonda.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We roll until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Hanging out today, Wright Honda is where we are located. We're sequestered nicely in the showroom, and Manuch and I will be here once again until 4. All right, there's baseball tonight again down at the yard, and with that, Nick Piecoro will be there. He's the beat writer, Arizona Republic, also AZ Central. You can find him on X at Nick Piecoro. Again, that's at Nick Piecoro. Nick, welcome, pal, as always. Manuch and I opened the show today with a debate about unwritten rules of baseball. And I always crack up because the saying goes, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So why was Merrill Kelly, in your estimation, so upset after the game when, A, he got taken out of the game and was trailing 2-0, but got into it during the game afterwards, yelling across at the bench on the other side of the diamond, and then talking to the news media? I'm sure you were there and you saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys touched on it. You know, like, I guess in his mind, it's one of those unwritten rules that, you know, a coach on the field out there shouldn't be one of the guys relaying signs. In his mind, it's one thing if it's a runner on second base who sees the grip, or if it's a batter in the box who notices something that a guy does to give away what the pitch is, he kind of seems to think that that's fair game. He just didn't think that it was when it's a coach out on the field. He kind of felt like if he's one of the guys between the white lines, and so be it. But everybody else should, I guess, mind their own business.
I think it's interesting because that's typically the way it is. And growing up playing baseball for many years, the third base or first base coach hardly ever gets involved. But it's the new era of baseball. Merrill Kelly himself, not a bad game, Nick. I mean, as far as that's concerned, I thought he pitched pretty well. I felt that Torrey should let him finish the inning. Clark comes in, gives up the back-to-back dingers. His comments about that, almost 100 pitches in 5 2/3. Did Torrey just feel he was at the end of his rope as far as pitches were concerned?
We didn't really get into that. I kind of thought it was pretty typical to go and get him at that point. I also thought it was kind of a good opportunity to make sure that he finishes his outing on a pretty decent note. I know that one of those runs scored, but look, it was a step forward for him, and I think he kind of needed an outing like that after the way things have been going.
Yeah, I only felt that was probably one of his better outings in the 6 at-bats. Watching Gaussman, watching this Cubs team, scoring runs, mowing down D-backs left and right. Runners in scoring position seems to be the Achilles heel. Runners left on base, on and on and on. How is Torrey addressing that per se? Not only with the game yesterday, he went 2 out of 3 against the Red, but overall, how that continues to rear its ugly head with this ball club.
Yeah, guys. I mean, we've talked about it probably every time I've been on here recently, right? It's just an issue. It's a fine line that they walk between trying to get these guys to, to come up in big situations, come through, I should say, in big situations, but not put too much pressure on themselves in those situations. And that's often what it comes down to. Like, why guys struggle in those spots is because they're gripping the bat a little bit tighter, or they're trying so hard to come through that they, expand the strike zone or whatever it is. So, I mean, it's constant reminders. It's a thing all these teams go through over the course of seasons. It just feels like it's kind of been happening more often than not with the Diamondbacks. Though, you look at their numbers, I don't think they're like last in the league in the scoring position. It's a hard thing to do.
Nick Piecoro is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Nick, let us follow up then, because it seems the Ketel Marte story is getting more convoluted than ever. Look, I didn't have a problem that he went to the casino. My problem was he went when the team was home, and he went when they were playing the game. That's what got me a little twisted. But can you tell, it seems to us anyway, that Torrey's caught between a rock and a hard spot. He's trying to sugarcoat both sides and trying to get the locker room to buy in to welcome him back. What is your read right now?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is a really difficult position that Ketel has put Torrey in. I think Torrey's doing his best to, toe that line. And I think these guys are going to ultimately, welcome him back. I'm not sure they're going to, welcome him back with open arms or, sing Kumbaya or whatever. But I think that they're going to be glad to have him back because he's a really good baseball player. And they're just going to try to move forward as best they can because he's going to help them win games.
Nick had to be, you were like Mr. Investigative Reporter last week, following all your stuff in reference to Ketel Marte. We may never know the reason why he didn't show up on Monday, but moving forward, when they all met on Thursday, what was the understanding with this Diamondbacks organization, Ketel Marte and his agents, in reference to moving forward? And as Jimmy alluded to, the whole casino thing with the ball club in town, don't most guys that are rehab assignments that are here, typically if they do their workouts in the morning, are at the ballpark when they're in town?
Not really. Every now and then guys will show up, but most of the time they're not here. I would say guys that are hurt will be in the dugout 25% of the time at most. It's really not that common for guys to be around. So, like, for Cassell to skip the game, it's not a big deal. I don't even know if going to the casino itself in a vacuum is that big of a deal. But to do it on the day that he did it, on the week that he did it, knowing that it had to have been a hot button thing that people were going to be, locked in on him when he goes out in public, that's the part that kind of makes you wonder, like, what's he thinking here?
Well, speaking of what he's thinking, I agree with you. I think the optics just look really, really bad. We discussed this yesterday. It's almost as if sometimes, Nick, it seems like he's doing this on purpose to force the hand of the Diamondbacks, whatever that is. He might be unhappy, doesn't want to play, whatever that is. And sometimes, I don't know, I put this out there yesterday. It seems like he's just sabotaging the situation, or he's just an idiot, he's arrogant, or he's selfish. Any of all the above.
I don't know. I'm not sure what he's thinking. That's the problem with all this, is that he's a hard person to kind of put yourself in his shoes. I don't know what's going on in his mind, and it kind of leaves me, my general thought is, like, whatever the reason was that he didn't show up and didn't talk to anybody about it. Whenever it comes out, I feel like it's just not going to be satisfying. It's just going to be one of those. It's just going to be confusing still. I just think he's human. He can get emotional like we all can, and he can make bad decisions like we all can. I think that's probably what this was.
Last but not least, this Diamondback team's only got 3 starters. Soroka on the 15-day IL. They sent Bratt down. You got Kelly, Fott, and Erod right now. What's the game plan after that?
Yeah, well, they're going to be counting on some young guys here for the time being. They're gonna try to get. I think they're probably going to be giving the ball to Paul Drake and Jose Cabrera again against the Giants. But I think Bratt's probably going to figure in that doubleheader on Saturday, because you can be optioned and come back for a doubleheader according to the rules. But then after that, they're going to be hoping for Corbin Burns. They're going to be hoping for Zach Gallen, and they're going to hope that Soroka's back, close to the minimum. So, they just got to get through this stretch here. It's possible. I don't want to, be too confident with this, because it just seems like pitchers get hurt so often. But it's possible they could have more arms, and they're going to have spaces for. But it kind of feels like right now they're going to need Burns, and they're going to need Gallen as soon as they're ready.
And speaking of Burns, what's the estimation for Burns? And also, Lourdes Gurriel, I heard he's about ready to come back up.
Yeah, I think Gurriel has a couple more games at least in Reno. It sounded like yesterday. I don't really know where he's going to fit. And then, Burns, I think the soonest he could be back is kind of toward the end of that first week of September. They have a trip in Houston. If he comes back then, it would probably just be a really abbreviated outing, one where they, kind of are starting to build him up at the big league level. So maybe it'd only be 3 innings. Maybe he gets out for the 4th. I think probably 3 would be the more realistic get for him. So that's probably that. And then Gallen would be eligible to come off the 60. I think a few days after Burns returns is the way the schedule lines up.
Nick, quickly set us up for tonight. What do you expect? Nick?
Yeah, I guess we lost him.
We lost him. Yeah. Well, I guess he didn't like my question.
Sound like
Talk about tonight's game.
It's like he was in the car. It's like he was pulling in, got to that stadium entrance where they parked. Boom, dropped it right there.
That's it. Oh, well, that was great, though. Nick Piecoro from Arizona Republic.
He might deserve combat pay.
He might.
These last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's in the middle of it.
It's almost like investigative reporting, what he's had to do with this Ketel Marte situation and moving forward that. So, and on the other side of it, you got Erod and Boyd on the bump. And then as far as who's next, I forgot about, Drake was up, Cabrera, and then whatever you have left after that. Whoever the opener is going to be at that point in time, we'll see.
It's going to be interesting. No question about that. Hey, the first NFL game of the season, it's going to be the Super Bowl rematch. That's right, New England and Seattle. And guess what? We're going to be live at DraftKings Sportsbook, TPC Scottsdale. It is Wednesday, September 9th. We'll be there from 1 until 4. We'll set you up with a great pregame party. You can do your tailgating with us. Now, you got to be 21 and up. So make sure that you have your ID with you, like I always do. Manuch and I just barely qualify. Once again, it is September 9th. We're doing the show on Wednesday. That's right. That's when the NFL season opens, Wednesday. We have the pregame tailgate kickoff. It's going to be a lot of fun at DraftKings Sportsbook, TPC Scottsdale. We will see you there. All right, when we come back, we'll do a little on this day, some football at 50. We're hanging out today here at Wright Honda in Scottsdale. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy. Spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof. Now you can take Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B wherever you go. Enter to win our exclusive Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B portable Bluetooth speaker. Perfect for the pool, the patio, the golf course, camping, or your next tailgate. Plus, you'll also have a chance to win a $100 Biggs American Bar and Grill gift card. Just text ESPN to 59925 to enter. That's ESPN to 59925. Brought to you by Biggs American Bar and Grill. Great food, cold drinks, and the home of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Right here on ESPN Radio 620.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Wright Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Wright Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at wrighthonda.com. That's wrighthonda.com, where Arizona drives Wright Honda.
29 degrees. That's how cold your Michelob Ultra and Bud Light pour at Twin Peaks. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are live there every Thursday. Massive screens, scratch-made food, game day energy all weekend long. Twin Peaks, where every day is game day.
The Arizona Sports YouTube channel for live shows, podcasts, viral clips, shorts, and more. Just the local sports leader doing what we do on YouTube. Serve yourself some Arizona sports. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Wright Toyota On This Day report. Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is the segment of the show where Manuch gets to show his real age, because most of the time he has seen everything that he is going
Just
to
about.
talk about. Let's do a little on this day.
Yeah, 1968, Arthur Ashe becomes the first African-American to win the U.S. Singles Championship. You remember that, Jimmy?
I played against him.
Was he just phenomenal or what?
Phenomenal.
Quick. 1996, now listen to this, folks. Tiger Woods wins an unprecedented third U.S. Amateur Championship, beating Steve Scott on the 38th hole after coming back from 5 down with 16 to play and 2 down with 3 to go. Now, a lot of people don't realize when you get into the U.S. Amateur, you go until somebody wins 1 up, 2 down. So they went basically 38 holes for him to do that. And hey, Laz, I'm sorry about this, man. You're just a young pup. Going back to 2002, Arizona's Randy Johnson strikes out 16 Cubs.
How many? How many?
16, 1-6 Cubs as the Diamondbacks defeat the Chicago. How appropriate.
Oh, my God. Just
7-0. Woo. Yeah, Randy Johnson was mowing them down.
I remember being about 18 months old and crying pretty hard about that
Yeah,
one.
I'm sure you were. You were singing the, I'm sorry, you were singing the blues with the Chicago Cubs.
Real clever, Manuch.
Yeah,
Real witty
there
of
you
you.
go.
There you go. On this day for everybody right there.
I like it, pal, as always. All right, some football at 50. Boy, we got a lot of interesting stories on this one coming up. It's all presented by our great partnership at Biggs American Bar and Grill. It's our home for Monday night football, and during halftime, a chance to roll for $25,000. How much, Manuch?
$25,000.
At halftime, you get ice cold Michelob Ultras, Bud Light drafts, loaded burgers. The TV screens are awesome. They are everywhere. It's a great place, too, to have your fantasy football party. It's right off the 101 Bell Road and 83rd Avenue in the P83 district there in Peoria. We will see you there. In fact, we're going to be there tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
We're going to go tomorrow. Once again, for more information, just go online, BiggsPeoria.com. Again, that's BiggsPeoria.com.
Well, a lot going on with all the conferences with Xavier Harris and Daquan Wright coming back to college for pro football. The Big Ten says, Jimmy, not in our house.
I like it.
The Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that stops players returning from the NFL from playing for one of its schools. That's coming from Pete Thamel. As he said that, and they're saying any players declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with the pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. That's what the sources told Thamel. That will come out this afternoon. How about this? Here's the SEC statement. This came out last night. They say, quote, college athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college athletics, sign professional playing contracts, and compete professionally should not be permitted to return to college competition. They also say, quote, allowing that to occur will blur the line between college and professional sports, create significant competitive equity concerns, and reduce opportunities for high school and current college players. Quote, college sports are college athletes. The current confusion around national eligibility standards emphasizes the need to advance the Protect College Sports Act, close quote. Well, go tell that to your boy over at LSU, to Lane Kiffin, who doesn't agree with all this and is very welcoming to anybody and everybody that used to play for him at Ole Miss, now coming back, getting waived, and coming back to LSU.
Manuch, it's typical SEC. It's word salad. They're saying nothing, and they are doing nothing. Typical Southern garbage coming from the SEC because they don't have a clue on how to attack this because of Lane Kiffin, and he is controlling the narrative here.
Well,
Not the commissioner. It's Lane Kiffin who is controlling the narrative.
I agree with you, Jimmy.
For the SEC.
If they're going to come out with that, why would they not stop
Lane
Kiffin from doing this?
Exactly.
Why would they not?
Exactly.
Now, the ACC is now considering the same course of action. They're having a conference meeting today. And here's the Big 12 statement. Here's the Big 12 stance, as they call it.
Okay.
They say Big 12 leadership and athletic directors are mulling a policy to maintain competitive balance and ensure college rosters remain reserved for traditional student athletes through a final official standalone text release from the conference as it continues to evolve alongside this fast-moving legal landscape. Now, let me add to this. That's all well and good, and they may be able to prevent that from happening, but what will happen is any players want to come back to the Big 12, ACC. In this case, it's the SEC, LSU, Lane Kiffin. Oh, really? Imagine that they're coming back to the SEC and Lane Kiffin. They will try to lawyer up, try to take it to another local judiciary format. In this case, the local judiciary format was in Louisiana. The other local judiciary was in Mississippi for the Ole Miss scenarios. So this is going to be a very fluid, ongoing situation. Listen to a lot of morning shows. A lot of guys talk about this. Attorneys, sports talk show hosts, whatever. It was very interesting because nobody really has the answer if they're not allowed from these conferences to come and play this fifth year.
Well, all I can tell you is that at least the Big Ten acted.
Exactly.
And acted immediately. By the way, the president passed that, so it is now official in the Big Ten. You have to wait to see now what the ACC and the Big 12 will do. But look, I don't want your stinking word salad. I want action. Either you are in on it or you're not in on it. And if you're not in on it, then let the chips fall where they may. And if you are in on it and rolling with the Big Ten and what they have done, well then, okay, fine. But come out and be proactive, not just laying back in the weeds with some word salad.
And shoot down. And shoot down what LSU did. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, they didn't say anything.
Shoot down with Xavier Harris and also with Daquan Wright. And I got to imagine, Laz, if you get a chance at the break, make sure that they both have cleared waivers. We talked about this yesterday, Jimmy. Could you imagine if there might be who came up with this? I'm trying to think. Maybe it was we had Brock Osweiler on yesterday.
Okay.
And Brock said, I thought about the same thing. You know, they got to clear waivers. That there's might be some coaches in pro football that say, hey, look, former Alabama coach, a former Tennessee coach.
Oh, sure.
Let's pick those two up.
Yeah,
they're on our schedule, even though we're in pro ball. Let's pick them up, put them on the practice squad, and that'll be the end of that. I love it.
Unbelievable.
The gamesmanship in all sports, folks.
It's unbelievable. All right, that is 1 hour down. We still have 2 to go. When we come back, former Cardinal Michael Bankston is going to join us. We're going to dive into more of the D-backs and the Cubs and Ketel Marte. We are here today at Wright Honda. We're sequestered here in the showroom. Got a great location. People have come by and said hello, at least to me, not to Manuch, but at least they've said hi to me. So at any rate, we're coming right back. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Life can get hectic. That's why Progressive provides claim support 24/7, 365 days a year, all the time. But not like in a desperate way. We're not just waiting online for you to talk to us or waiting by the phone. I mean, we are waiting by the phone, but not like staring at it. Well, now I am. I'm staring at it. The point is, Progressive claim support is here for you 24/7 in a totally chill, normal way. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
In the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on wash and wax, you can get 3 McGuire's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary. No bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday Football Lock-In. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live at Wright Honda, Arizona's #1 Honda dealer, WrightHonda.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Hanging out today. Wright Honda is where we are. Manuch, they've got it, as you like to say, going on here today.
I'm rubbing off on you, Jim.
Yeah, I know. It really, I got to take a shower and get rid of it.
Yeah, Shane, the fine general sales manager out of Wright Honda, say, hey, look, we've got all these great financial specials that are going on through the end of the month, through the end of August. So get your buds down here. Let's go. Down here on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, just east of 78th Street. And some of that is there's no payments for 90 days through the Honda Financials for qualified buyers. The exclusive finance program through Wright Honda and Honda Financial Services. How about this deal?
Okay.
0.99% for 36 months on both the CRV gas and hybrid models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers. How about this one? 1.49% for 36 months on Accord hybrid models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers. And last but not least, 1.49% for 36 months on all HRV models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers. Did I mention through the end of August?
You did.
Yeah, so you better get your buns down here. You got Shane's down here. All the guys are all hands on deck. You've already got some pretty decent traffic, knowing that Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B are out here at Wright Honda in North Scottsdale.
Hey, we have koozies available, too. Yeah, you can come by and keep that drink cold. Or if you're like Manuch, who drinks his coffee all day, then he can keep it hot.
That's right.
In the koozie.
It's a both effect. It goes one way or the other. Wright Honda, the great financial services through Wright Honda Financial Services.
There you go. All right. There is baseball tonight downtown Chase Field. Second game of the series between the Cubs and Diamondbacks. But still, the Ketel Marte story just will not go away. And to be honest with you, Manuch, I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon.
I was just going to say, Jimmy, this thing is still hovering over this ball club.
It is, yeah.
I think until Ketel Marte comes over to the facility, talks to all the guys, I think this is still unsettled. And I really believe in that locker room and that clubhouse. It's very unsettling for the players as well, too. And I really believe with him going to the casino on Friday night after his workout, he has every right to go.
I agree with that.
But as you brought up, the ball club was in town.
Yep.
He had the entire weekend to come in and talk to this ball club, whether it be Saturday or Sunday, and then just kind of settle right there. Hey, Skip, you and the coaches, if I'm Nolan Arenado, I said, you know what, come on in, Ketel, Skip, bench coach, all you coaches out the room.
I'm with you.
Close the door.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about this. And as Nick Piecoro said, we had him on at 1:30, the fine beat writer for the Diamondbacks. Either you have your kumbaya moment and you air it out, your grievances, and you look to say, can we rely on you? Where are you at? Where's your headspace? All the above. By the way, it's not kumbaya, my lord. It's kumbaya, my lord.
No.
It's Italian folk song.
No, you just ruined your whole spiel.
I just want to
that.
put a little brevity at this whole
my
thing.
gosh. Hey,
But-
let me just say this.
Well, let me finish.
Okay, go for it.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Because the longer this lingers,
there you go.
The longer this lingers, it's hovering over that clubhouse.
Yeah.
It's hovering over that team.
Yeah.
And I hope something happens before they leave on their 4-game set with the San Francisco Giants. If not, you're going to wait till you come back and take on the Phillies. So I would just hope somebody would say, Ketel, Get your butt over there, take your medicine, handle it like a man, and let's just move on so we can move forward.
Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call. Question of the day is to Cattell or not to Cattell. It's that simple. All you have to do is there's just one way to vote. With him they go or without him the rest of the way. Just go to Roc and Manuch on X, also as well on Instagram. Cast your vote. We will update as the show continues.
Yeah, and Jimmy, it's, with or without, I'm gone without. Too big of a distraction.
I'm with you.
Damage is done.
Yep.
Trying to heal that wound now. This bad boy needs stitches. It needs surgery. Needs to go heal. I think right now, if you bring him back, it's just putting a Band-Aid on the situation.
Let me drop this on you then. As far as them trying to cut a deal before the season began this year for Marte, they came out and they said, well, we just didn't like what we were going to get in return.
Well, not only in the offseason, but at the trade deadline.
That's
twice.
Twice.
So I think I hear what you're insinuating. You think he's a little butthurt?
Oh, yeah.
That they're looking to move him?
Absolutely.
Well, then he needs to look in the mirror and decide, well, the main reason why we're looking to trade you is because of you and because of your shenanigans. This is the third time. You let this team down 2 years ago when there was a week to go and you took a day off.
Yep.
And you're in the hunt for a wild card spot. And then last year you disappeared for 3 days after the All-Star game. And then this, for unknown reason, not showing up last Monday, not even communicating. I mean, I'm like, for me, it's enough's enough. If I'm the leader in the clubhouse, I'm the captain, I go to the skipper and Hayes and I said, look, guys, forget it. We don't want, some guys may want it because they don't know any better. They're like, well,
he's a great player.
Yeah,
he can really help us. Yeah, I get that.
But, is the juice worth the squeeze with his Cattell Marte?
What's that?
Yeah, is the juice worth the squeeze? You got to squeeze that much out to get the nice juice out of this bad boy. You ever heard that before, Jimmy?
Everybody then is bowing down to Cattell. If you welcome him back with open arms, everybody bowed down, and that's exactly what he was looking for.
And I think that's
I'm not
wrong.
buying that.
I'm not buying it. So for me, I think they do without the distraction. And I feel that this takes a stand. If I'm the skipper, I'm Mike Hazen, and I'm Ken Kendrick in the ownership group.
Right.
And you know what? You got to take a stand. There's not one guy bigger than the other. Now, if he'd have come clean and said, hey, my bad, like the day later or whatever, instead of allowing this to linger, hey, guys, hey, for whatever reason, I apologize, my fault. Come to it like the next day, like most men with courage and honor and integrity would do. Then I'd say, okay, well, we're going to suspend you for 3 days. You can do your rehab, but you're going to come back for suspension. All right. Okay, done. We'll move on. But this lingering sends a message to everybody.
Manucci hasn't met with anybody with the team.
Well, no, he did meet on last Thursday.
No, that was the only time.
Yeah.
But that was just with Torrey and front
Sure.
office.
Nobody.
But none of the players.
Yeah.
So this is.
To your point.
Yes.
I would have met when they got back.
Yes.
They had that day off, right?
Yes.
Friday, they started their series with the Reds.
Correct.
I'd have been in there. I'd have said, hey, look, guys, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
I got rehab.
Yeah.
And after my rehab, I'd have been back in the ballpark to show that I'm interested in it. You know how flippant, how arrogant, and how the optics are for you to be at a casino the night that they're in town
Playing the
after
game.
all this?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, you know what? We can do without them. Let's move on. Either we live or die with the guys we got in that clubhouse.
Once again, it's not going to the casino that we're upset about. You can do whatever you want. Manucci guy, we do shows from the casinos, okay? That's not the issue. The issue is the optic of it at the casino when you haven't spoken to any of the team, and also they are playing that night against Cincinnati, and you're just hanging out at the casino. That's the optics.
It's flippant.
Yes.
It's becoming
right in your face.
If you want, basically, I'm Jimmy. The tail's wagging the dog.
I
right
agree.
now. The tail is wagging the dog.
All right. Yesterday, before the game last night, Torrey met with the news media, and he gave a comparison with what the Cattell Marte situation is, and he brought in Deshaun Watson. Listen to this.
we are all going to be there to support Cattell any way we know how, best way we know how. You're looking at probably one of his biggest supporters, one of his biggest fans. So I will continue to be there and assist him any way that I possibly can. But when you talk about that impact on an athlete, you just don't know what it means until it happens to you. I have had it happen to me as a player. I've had it happen to me as a manager of a baseball team. And, you kind of shrug it off and know that it's the fans' right to do that. I know that it impacted the shortstop in Philly. And I remember there was a tweet that went around, let's start cheering for him. And I think there was a direct turnaround. So it can weigh on you. It can be a little bit frustrating.
He's such a sensitive guy.
And I'm not sure what Deshaun Watson, you said?
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah. Cattell is a very loving young man. And I don't want that to happen. I understand it's a possibility that it could happen. But we'll rally around him.
All right, so Deshaun Watson got booed by the fans when he was playing in the exhibition game over the weekend. And then he came out and complained about it to the news media. Well, today, the front office paraded him back out, and he apologized for talking about
Let me just say something what Torrey said there.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff, players bring this on themselves.
Okay.
This whole, Cattell Marte situation, he's brought this on himself. He's at fault here. Fans don't like what they're seeing. Fans don't care what they're seeing. You're a multi-millionaire making, what, 20, 25, $30 million. You've created this thing.
Yes.
What do you want fans to not do, Torrey? Hey, we love you. Let's sing Kumbaya. No, he has brought this on. So there's consequences for bad behavior.
And it's not the first time.
That's
the key.
So fans are tired of this BS.
Yeah.
And for you to continue to coddle him and do we support him and this and that, fans are tired of it, man. I'm telling you, I'm a D-back fan. I'm like, Torrey, what the hell, man? Hey, you know what? I would just say, look, fans have that right to do whatever. We will support him the best we know how. And just to go excuse after excuse after excuse, it's just, I don't know. At this point, I'm like, guys, I feel the Deshaun Watson thing's a whole different era.
Yeah, that's different.
He brought that on himself with all the allegations for the 95 different masseuses that he was with, whatever it was.
Whatever.
So there's a lot of stuff there. Problem was, Deshaun Watson should have just said, you know what? I'm doing my best. Fans have the right to do whatever they want and move on.
Yeah.
Take the high road. So it'll be very interesting to see that once Cattell Marte gets a microphone in front of him, how he handles it with his teammates, how he handles it in front of a microphone.
Manuch, I get it. He's an all-star player. He's a terrific baseball player. He's a lot of fun to watch. He makes a lot of money. But you are absolutely correct where you said nobody on the team brought this on but him.
Yeah.
It's his fault. It's his fault, and it's not the first time. It's the third time.
Yeah, and Torrey, stop calling the guy. You guys should have had some kind of here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. That's just the third time. There's got to be some kind of rules and regulations, code of conduct, I would think. Hell, if you and I didn't tell Roc that, hey, we couldn't, that you're texting me going, hey, I'll get back to you, and be a no-show and not communicate. Anybody out there, your butt is out the door.
Out the door.
If you're that flippant and you're that irresponsible to not report or show and not even have an excuse on top of it.
Hey, we want to remind everybody that when September gets here, that is football. And September 11th, we're going to have the Friday football, and it is going to be held from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook, TPC Scottsdale. It is the Arizona Football Hour. Charlie Regal is going to be one of our guests on the show. We will interview the top coaches in college football from U of A, ASU, and NAU. It's going to be a lot of fun. And DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale is where you can listen to us live from 1 until 4. Once again, you just go to rockandmanuch.com. We've got a lot more to explain to you on how this is going to work. You do have to be 21 plus in order to participate at TPC Scottsdale in the DraftKings Sportsbook, and also then to participate in our sponsored contests as well. All right, when we come back, the Cardinals, Packers, preseason game. It's Friday night. We're going to dive into that. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here at Wright Honda until 4 o'clock this afternoon. ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday football lock-in. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Ride Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Ride Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard or shop anytime at wrighthonda.com. That's wrighthonda.com, where Arizona drives Wright Honda.
Living in the Valley of the Sun means we're always battling the heat on the golf course, at work, or just getting through the day. To stay sharp, you need more than energy. You need hydration. You need Phoenix Hydration Energy, spelled Phoenix, like the city we love. Phoenix gives you clean, natural energy from green tea, plus 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. No crash, no junk, just pure performance. Grab Phoenix Hydration Energy today at 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, or Circle K. Phoenix Hydration Energy. Rise up.
In the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on wash and wax, you can get 3 McGuire's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone. In the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, Jolene, Jolene,
Jolene. In Scottsdale with ESPN 620's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Shop it online. They'll deliver it. WrightHonda.com.
With flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin.
Backdoor throw, another caught ball in the paint for a touchdown. And guess who? Jalen Brooks with his 6th catch of the game. Another touchdown for Arizona. And dancing in the end zone, the Cardinals have the lead before halftime. It's 20-14, 17 seconds to go.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight, and it is cut time right now. As we say, rest in peace to the one, the only, Dolly Parton.
Amen.
Amen. When I say cut time, because this is the final preseason game for everybody in the National Football League, Manuch, they have to go from 622 players down to 53.
Well, and the biggest thing nowadays is they don't cut to like the last week.
Right.
Because they're going to have 2 weeks prior to playing, back in the day.
Yep.
after 4 preseason games, you usually had the last preseason game on a Thursday or Friday, and then you had the weekend off, and then cut down day might have been that weekend or that Monday, because you came back technically on Monday. And if you did come back on Monday, that'd be the last cut down day, because you had Tuesdays are off in the National Football League for the players. And then Wednesday, you start your season up, start game planning for that Sunday game. So nowadays, since you got the 2 weeks, they might have an extra several days or week to get down to the 53-man roster. Now, several players may be waived that might be re-signed by this Cardinal team for their practice squad.
Yep.
But what this means now, with limited amount of starters playing in this game, I hardly think on Friday night you may see maybe a total of maybe 3 or 4, if that, starters on either side of the football field. I mean total, maybe 2. Maybe there's the competition at cornerback. Maybe you see a couple of those guys that are potential starters play.
Offensive line at all?
Maybe, yeah,
Okay.
it would be.
Okay.
But for most, for all intent and purposes the other night, it was pretty much a second, third team line.
Yeah.
Same with the defensive line. Trey Benson is gone now. They got Josh Sweat has been activated. You look at some of the other situations, maybe linebacking scenario might be going on. Does Cody Simon, can he get more adept at this defense? So if there's some competition or there's some big question marks on individual players, they'll play them. But what the foreground to that is, with the practice with the Packers tomorrow, and I think they're going to go Thursday as well too, the joint practices before they play on Friday, is they're going to get a chance to look at some guys in some quasi-live scrimmages, 1-on-1, 7-on-7, put them in as many game-like situations as they can to see how they react in practice. Now, Mike LaFleur was not happy with last week's practices. He said it. They were sloppy.
Yes.
They played sloppy. He's looking forward to them to picking it up. Now, yesterday, he said they had a good practice. They picked it up pretty good. Carson Beck did not practice yesterday, did not throw. So, yet to be seen whether he is in the joint practices or plays on Friday night. I would hope he could go.
Okay.
I would hope he could go.
Let me ask you then, how detrimental has this been for Carson Beck?
Huge.
Because I thought that he was going to get the majority of the snaps at quarterback.
He pretty much would have. He would have had Gardner Minshew like last week, go ahead and start, play a half, and then put Carson Beck in there.
Yeah.
Gardner played, halfway through the third quarter. Then Keaton Slovis came in.
Finished
up. And, it's really like if you're Monty Austin for it, you're going, oh, damn. I would like to have seen this kid play, that being Carson Beck, at least 3 full quarters if he could. Now, I hope that if his ribs are okay, he can throw and doesn't really bother him, they put a flak jacket on, which pretty much all have that little small flak jacket on.
Yeah.
That he can go out there and perform. But, man, he had all that synergy, he had all that momentum going on, and he got hit on that one scramble.
I remember that.
So, that kind of puts him behind the 8 ball a little bit. But in the meantime, if I'm Keaton Slovis, I take advantage of it. If I'm Keaton Slovis and I've got these joint practices with the Packers, and he and Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett are the 3 guys that get the majority of the snaps, take advantage of it. The other thing you want to take advantage of it is going against another team, and that kind of competition matters, as we heard that Mike LaFleur said last week.
Right.
Practice matters.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it may not be close to what you're going to have in the game, but it does matter.
So, are you in favor of doing practices with other teams?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Even though it sometimes gets pretty physical, and we've seen fights, or is that just boys?
That's the nature
boys
of it.
being boys.
Yeah, the knuckleheads have their issues.
Yeah.
What happens is you break up the monotony of going against each other.
Okay.
You go against some other competition. You get a good test and measurement of what you have, what you don't have. I mean, we would have the rookies came in the week before the veterans, so we'd have a rookie scrimmage with the Cleveland Browns down at Edinburgh State College in Erie, PA.
Oh, I know where that is.
That's where my aunt and uncle graduated from Edinburgh State College.
Wow.
And then the following week, when the veterans came in, everybody was in. We would either have the Browns come to Edinburgh State College, or we'd go to Kent State. We'd fly over there.
Sure.
And we'd scrimmage the Browns. Now, those scrimmages were live. Yeah, they were live. We weren't thud all over the place.
You were actually tackling.
We were tackling. We had actual plays. And then you'd have your 4 preseason games. So since there's not a lot of hitting, if any, with these joint practices, you're getting a chance to go one-on-one with the receivers and defensive backs, 7-on-7, your 7 versus their 7.
Okay.
And if you go 11-on-11, it's a controlled 11-on-11. It's nothing more than breaking the monotony. Let's compete. Let's get away from our comfort zone. We'll fly here, or they come in. When I was in Buffalo my 3rd year, the Packers came into Fredonia State, and they stayed overnight there, and we scrimmaged them.
Yeah.
So we did your drills. You did 1-on-1, 7-on-7s, scrimmage. Nothing, pretty much everybody saying kumbaya at the end of the day. They go back to Green Bay, and then we stay there, and then we start our preseason. So it was just a good, I get to throw against that defense, or I get to throw, and there's really nothing more than evaluations going on. And especially with the Cardinals, their evaluations right now, with their depth at the receivers, they got a pretty good group of receivers this year. Who's going to be that 4th, 5th, or 6th receiver if they decide to keep 6 receivers or 5 receivers? Running back wise, Love's not going to play. Algier's not going to play.
Right.
Connor's questionable.
Yeah.
So Bam Knight and Kiner and the other kid are pretty much those 3.
Yeah.
So they're going to get the workload this week. Hey, good for them. So if any of those 3, Bam Knight will make the team, I feel. But the other 2, Hull and Kiner, if they get cut, they've got some good tape to show for it.
Okay.
So if they get cut and somebody picks them up off waivers, they got some good tape, or maybe they come back to the Cardinals on the practice squad.
We're going to get into all of this in our next segment because Michael Bankston, former Cardinal, is indeed going to join us. We want to remind everybody, Thursdays, we are always live at a Twin Peaks location. Manuch, where are you going to be Thursday?
We'll be at the Tempe Marketplace, Twin Peaks.
Don't forget, we're always presented by Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. And Twin Peaks now has Busch Light aluminums as well. So you can find us at the Tempe Marketplace this Thursday at Twin Peaks. All right, when we come back, the aforementioned Michael Bankston. We are hanging out here today at Wright Honda, and we are here until 4 in the afternoon. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs were shut out 7-0 by the Cubs last night as they dropped the first of 3 from Chase Field. But Arizona will look to bounce back tonight and even the series at a game apiece as they try to pick up ground in what is a tight National League wildcard race. Brandon Pfaadt will get the start for the Snakes with first pitch set for 6:40 and pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Sports Update is driven by Wright Honda. Huge selection, no games, no pressure. Visit Wright Honda at 7875 East Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, just across from TPC Scottsdale, or shop anytime at wrighthonda.com. That's at wrighthonda.com. Michael Bankston will join the guys next.
Football fans, it's time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks. Cold drinks, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for the picks, the rivalries, and a full season of bragging rights. Start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your draft party at your local lodge today.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday football lock-in, only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Join the team at All City Towing. Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Hey, it's Jimmy B. Football season is here, and there's never been a better time to grow your business. Partner right now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, with live endorsements, show sponsorships, featured segments, remote broadcast, and so much more. YouTube, social media, and commercials, all built around your goals and your budget. Visit rocandmanuch.com and click advertise. Let's grow your business together.
Make Azul Bar and Grill your new favorite hangout. Sing along with live karaoke, play bingo, catch the best local bands, or challenge your friends in the game room. Add great food, a fun atmosphere, and a place where everyone feels welcome. And you've got good times waiting at Azul, located at 3134 West Carefree Highway in Tremonto Plaza. See daily events and specials at azulgrill.com.
At the Y, strength means something different. It means people of all ages being together. It means you can be swishing the game-winning shot, learning to plie in first position, jabbing, crossing, and hooking a punching bag, canoeing in the lake, summer camp, donating food for your neighbors, watching your son learn about water safety in the pool. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
He's a proud Sam Houston State alum who played 9 seasons in the NFL for the Bengals and Cardinals. Ranked number 62 on the Arizona Republic's top 100 all-time Cardinal players. A great follow on Twitter, X at Big Bank 90. Michael Bankston now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Shotgun snap to Stafford. Drops straight back to throw. Steps up, gets hit, and sacked at midfield by Josh Sweat. Career high for Josh Sweat. 12 sacks now on the season, and the Rams call a timeout.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. Josh Sweat back on the practice field yesterday. That brings us then to our guest. And when we got things to talk about in the NFL, this is the guy that we call Big Bank 90. That's his handle on X. You can find him at Big Bank 90. It's always fun when we get Michael Bankston on the show. Welcome, pal, as always. Let me then begin with Josh Sweat. Hadn't seen him. There was rumors that they were trying to trade him, and then all of a sudden, he's back on the practice field, although not doing much, but he's back on the practice field. Where are you on the Josh Sweat situation?
Well, the last thing I heard on that, and you're right, it was rumors of him trying to be traded, and that's one of the reasons he was sitting back and holding him back. But then I did hear that they weren't planning on trading Josh Sweat, so he's had to play out his contract at least for this year. So we know that moving forward, it's good that he's back on the field. We know that's something that's lacking, and I know he ended up with 12 sacks last year. But we need to be able to do a much better job, as you see in this last game, rushing the passer and hopefully getting those turnovers and making it a better situation for our DBs. If we don't get no pressure on the quarterback, it's going to be like 7-on-7. So it's good to say that he's back.
Yeah, I was going to say he's kind of the saving grace to your point there, Banks, that without a pass rush, for a lot of those quarterbacks, it's like shooting fish out of a barrel, right?
Right. I mean, you're a quarterback, Manuch. You're glad not to have anybody in your face or swatting at you that's close, and you get that pocket to pass, and it's just open up for you. But, you know, we were hoping that this season will, with the new additions, that will make it a better pass rushing situation. In this last game, I was just a little disappointed just overall because, we got 1 sack. And then we got some pressure. That's not saying they're not doing their job. Sure. But I think we just took a few steps back because I just wanted to see a complete game. We didn't play a complete game on on special teams, on defense or offense, and that's scary because these guys that are playing second and third are trying to make the team, and you want them to be hungry, and you'll think that they'll just be elevating their game to make sure they make that 53-man roster. But I just didn't see it this past game.
And Banks, overall, Coach talked about how they had a sloppy week of practice. And I try to tell people in the National Football League, you got to practice up-tempo, be sharp at practice because it will reflect in a ball game. And we saw last week the reflection, the offsides, the holding, the lack of tackling, on and on and on. So my question for you, if you're not practicing tackling all week and then all of a sudden you got to turn it on for game day, how do you make that transition? Or is that different from a lineman to a defensive back?
Well, unfortunately, Manuch, we never played in that era. We did. So I don't even know what that feels like, except on a Saturday walkthrough. But a lot of these guys, especially the veterans, they understand that they need to make sure they got their mental reps in to make sure they execute these plays efficiently, effectively. And you can see they were out of place on defense in the secondary as well as at linebackers and the defensive line, just to be honest, what I saw. So those mental reps are huge because you're right. You're not hitting. If we're going up there running, even if we have shells on, all we're going to do is they're going to run a play on offense. The running back is a handoff. You're going to hopefully the D-lineman and linebackers get their fit, and the secondary comes down and field, and then the running back is just going to be able to run through the line, which is not going to be the case during an actual game. And same with when they do a passing play. It's the exact same thing. So those mental reps to make sure they are there and they know what to do and how they can be able to make that tackle and make that play on their fits is very important. Sometimes that translates for the guys that are mature and understand that aspect. Sometimes it's tough because you got somebody running when the live bullets. It's a whole different field than walkthrough, and we all know that.
Thanks. Let me follow that up then with what you expect in this game against Green Bay on Friday night. Starters are not going to play. It's guys that are trying to impress the coaches so that they can possibly make this team. You just said that they were pretty sloppy in that second preseason or this last weekend's preseason game. What do you anticipate on the final preseason game?
Well, I mean, everybody knows who's on the bubble, and some people know more than others. And what I mean by that is the players. And even they know who's need to step it up. They need to make some big-time plays. And you're not just playing for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's keep it real. You're playing for the other 31 teams out there because if you don't make it, you go into the waiver wire and hopefully, you get picked up and get that opportunity to still stay in the National Football League. So I'm hoping these guys come out there with a mindset, with a hunger, with a desire to make this team, to make that 53-man roster, and not rely on possibly making the practice squad, but making the 53-man roster. So I'm hoping these guys step up and play a much better game. But you're going to have that on both ends. You're going to have Green Bay's with their second and third and whoever else is trying to make the team that's going to be playing. So they're going to be playing, equal in that aspect, but it's always still an opportunity to do your best. And if you're on special team, I would just say balls to the wall because that's a great way to make the 53-man roster.
Banks, the joint practices, I used to love them because it was competition versus somebody else. We would scrimmage the Browns and the Packers. They'd either come into Buffalo, we'd go there. I loved it. But our scrimmages were live. We do the, you do the individual drills, but you do live. But you could actually show something in those joint practices. It seems like now, they're good, but you really can't show your wherewithal until it's live actually in the preseason game, I would think, nowadays.
Yeah, the way they have things negotiated with the new CBA and you only got 14 hours of padded practices during the regular season. Then even during the training camp, you only can practice so many days. So many hours with pads on it. Then you got to take the pads off for so many hours. So it's going to be hard. So a lot of that is just you getting your fits, getting an understanding, getting to play against somebody different, getting to feel that, hey, it's a different opponent. It's different from what the guy I've been going against during the whole training camp, and just see how your skills are. I will work more on my skills. I know we had, during my course, we had Denver several times. We had San Diego. Then when we did the Raiders, was my first rookie year, I mean, most of that was all fighting. I don't think we got anything out but knowing how to fight at the end of the day. But I'm serious. It was just nothing but fighting. But you can't get some out of it. You should be able to get some out of it. And the way things are, you just got to adjust. This is how it's going to be. This is what I need to do. Even in walkthroughs, you need to know exactly what it's going to take for you to make this play. And you need to have those mental reps all the time, because this is how I used to play the game. I approach the game. I had this little short period of time. I get my pre-snap read in. I know if they're in this formation, I know this is where I need to be. This is what I can do, a little extra, and I play my tendencies. So that mental rep needs to come in, and you need to be prepared, and you need to go, and especially these young guys that are trying to make the team. And you can't have those mental errors, just like you indicated, all these offsides, all these holding, all these things that are just going to set you back and be a penalized team. But we can't afford that. We need to be a less penalized team, and we need to be a more proactive and a better execution team moving forward.
Okay, so speaking of that, execution. So back in the day, we had full preseason games. A lot of starters didn't typically play that last game, but you had the next week when you started the regular season. So if you didn't play for 2 weeks, that's fine. Nowadays, Banks, if guys didn't play last week, didn't play this weekend, and then you got 2 weeks of your opening game, you technically have had 4 weeks of no live real action. So as a starter, how do you stay sharp, or how are you in sync, or how are you ready to go if there's not enough WD-40 to knock off the rust in that first game? You basically got 4.5 weeks until you play.
And that is correct, and that's what's happening with a lot of days, especially with these big time veterans that they keep hold back, and they believe that they will be prepared just through their mental reps, also through watching film, and they know how to prepare for the upcoming game. You will have those type of players, and they'll probably come out there and play just like they've been playing the whole time. Now you have these other players that may not be able to make that transition from not being able to hit, not being able to see a play going live speed, full speed, with an opportunity to make that play as far as making a tackle or making a hit. They might not be able to make that adjustment. Again, we know live bullets are just totally different for these guys. Now, let's say a Budda Baker. I wouldn't be concerned about Budda Baker. I got to be honest.
Sure.
Say a Josh Sweat. Honestly, I wouldn't even be concerned about him, just as long as he makes sure he's healthy. He knows what he needs to do, especially when you're playing the defensive end. You're on the outside majority of the time, unless it's a short yardage play or goal line play. Normally, you just got really one person to depend, unless a linebacker or a tight end comes out. Linebacker, but a running back comes and chip you just to slow you down. Other than that, you're just out there making some plays, and so his transition adjustment is not as difficult. But if you're looking at a linebacker, you're looking at a secondary person, their adjustment is a lot different, and especially when it's live bullets. And you got a receiver coming at you 110 miles an hour, and all you did was sit up there and play pity-pat during practice. Now you got to go up there and guard this guy, this top-level guy, and you really wasn't prepared. That's when it shows up, and that's when it hurts us as a team. We got some teams that understands how to do that, and they really thrive on being able to be that team and not practice as much as far as hitting. But then we got other teams that can't afford to not have some practices where it's padded. The guys don't understand to get their fits and get them correctly.
Thanks. Let me go to what we might see on Friday. Do you think that with the 2s and the 3s and maybe even 4s on the field, that is it going to be a sloppy game in your opinion, like what we saw last weekend, or do you expect it to be a little cleaner?
So this is going to be on Coach LaFleur. We're going to see his coachability. I guess I don't think that's in the dictionary, but I'm a patent at coachability.
I like it.
because he's going to see if he's able to get these guys prepared, get them motivated, get them to make the right decision, right choices through what he does in his practices leading up to this game. Because it's going to be important to him, because I said this in some of our other conversations, those second and third guys got to be developed, because we don't know. And NFL stands for not alone, next man up. We know all those things. And you got to be ready with your second and thirds to be able to sustain this 17-week season or 17-game week, 18-week season, and be ready to hopefully get into the playoffs. And if you don't have those guys developed, you're going to sell yourself short, because we had a lot of the major guys get hurt last year. And those second and third guys had to come in, and they didn't fare as well as we hoped they would. So you got to hopefully LaFleur has them ready to play, had a mindset, and those guys come up and step up and do what they need to do again to make this team, but also be able to be productive, especially when it's down the line, when it's week 6, 7, when some guys are injured.
It's always great, pal. You always improve this show when you're on it. We appreciate you. Thank you, Banks. Have a good day.
We like your coachability, Banks.
I like it. I'm going to keep that, too. Yeah.
All right, guys. You take care.
There you go. That's Michael Bankston, everybody. Former Cardinal and Bengal defensive lineman. He's presented today from where we're broadcasting from. Wright Honda. It's always Wright Honda in Scottsdale. Huge selection. There's no games. There's no pressure. They have a great service and parts department as well. It's all under one roof, and you can shop their entire inventory at WrightHonda.com. Again, that's WrightHonda.com. When we come back, a little random fact of the day, we'll do some football at 50 as well. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Arizona. Get ready for live music and golf under the lights. Saturday, September 12th, Yellow Jacket Overtime takes over grass clippings in Tempe. See Arizona native and national recording artist Sydney Bird live at 6:30. GA and VIP tickets, private seating, and night golf foursomes are available. Plus, every ticket supports Arizona classrooms through Wishes for Teachers. Yellow Jacket Overtime, September 12th. Tickets at yjovertime.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner Rowe today. 977-1900.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Help us inspire unity in millions of acts of kindness and service for 9/11 National Day of Service and Remembrance. Whether you want to help pack meals, like to paint, garden, or quilt, there's an opportunity for you. From blood drives to food drives, head to justserve.org to find an opportunity that works for you, your family, coworkers, and friends. That's justserve.org. Together, we can build unity through service. Go to justserve.org to get started.
Join us for the inaugural Orangedale Lounge Golf Classic on Thursday, October 29th at McDowell Mountain Ranch. Enjoy a great day of golf, then celebrate at the hosted 19th hole at OD's. Gather your foursome and register today at orangedalelounge.com or sign up at OD's, the Orangedale Lounge Golf Classic, where the round ends, but the party is just getting started.
That's what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong?
Guys are live at Wright Honda on Frank Lloyd Wright. Sales, service, all of it. WrightHonda.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We're hanging out here today at Wright Honda. We're here until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Guy just came by, took a photo of this Manuch. Oh, you paid him to do
Oh,
that.
absolutely. Yeah. I want people to actually prove that don't see us on YouTube.
Yeah.
They were actually working out here at Wright Honda.
Yes,
Yeah, we are working.
I understand. Let's do a little random fact. What do you got?
Well, this is very interesting. This is the first time I've seen this. And I remember reading about this story, but the HBO comedy Curb Your Enthusiasm once helped save the man from being falsely accused of murder.
That is true.
Now, Larry David's acclaimed series happened to be filming at Dodger Stadium the night the murder happened. Their cameras miraculously caught Juan Catalan proving his alibi true as well as his innocence. So somebody tried to pin the murder on. I remember it was in the parking lot of the Dodgers game.
Yes, it was.
It was a Dodgers Giants.
Yes, it was.
And there was a murder, and some people saw, they saw Juan Catalan and tried to pin it on him.
Yeah.
And then there's all this footage that was out there from not only the security cameras, but Curb Your Enthusiasm just happened to be filming out there. They go through all the footage, and the defense goes, "Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, here's his alibi. He was
right
nowhere
there
to be found.
Yeah, he's right there.
He was over there. The murder happened over. He was there. The murder happened over here. So you just talk about, thank you, Lord,
yes,
for covering." And but that's it. That's our random fact today.
It's an incredible story. I mean, it really is.
I miss Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David's phenomenal. But that's a case where they're trying to pin a murder on you. You go, wait a second.
Yeah,
I was over there. The murder happened there, and then Curb Your Enthusiasm just happened to be filming and catching them as they're doing a parking lot scene. And it might have been from that same game that Larry David was doing.
Yeah, it was the same game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So there's your random fact of the day.
Hey, everybody, football's here. We all know what that means. It means we're going to be at Big's American Bar and Grill Monday nights. And at halftime of the Monday night game, you get a chance to roll the dice for $25,000. How much, Manu?
25,000 ducats.
Woo! Ice cold Michelob Ultra, Bud Lights. Oh, man, they've got great food, loaded burgers. They got screens everywhere to watch the game. By the way, before the season begins, it's a great place to do your fantasy draft party as well. It's Big's Bar and Grill in the P83 district, right off the 101 Bell Road and 83rd Avenue. For more information, just go online, bigspeoria.com. Again, that's bigspeoria.com. Manuch, what do you got?
A little football 50. Just to kind of recap, all the major conferences have come out being against any NFL player that is signed to come back for their 5th year. So the judge that has allowed it is allowing, long story short, for those players to be waived in the National Football League and to basically come back. So in the case of Daquan Wright from the Cleveland Browns, and I forget the other young man's name that's going to be coming back. They were both formerly with Ole Miss, and they're now coming back to LSU under Lane Kiffin's tutelage.
There you go.
So everybody is not condoning it. They're going to have all kinds of guidelines to prevent that. Now, the SEC, even though they don't condone it, are basically saying we can't let this happen, are still allowing Lane Kiffin and LSU to bring on both of the players. Now, Lane Kiffin spoke. He was on Pat McAfee this morning.
Yeah.
And basically just says, hey, look, he says, quote, over 100 athletes in multiple sports were cleared and said you could go play. It's a court order, Kiffin said. If you think back on all the different court orders of great players that were granted, whether the Diego Pavias or now the Trinidad Chambliss that were allowed to play a sixth year, we followed all court orders. I think you get a really interesting situation as a conference if you're now saying, well, we're not going to follow the court order. These kids that the court says can go anywhere, we're going to say, no, you can't. So what he's saying is, let me just kind of encapsulate this, because Lane Kiffin says a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense.
No, but he is correct.
He's correct.
He is correct right now.
And he also goes on to say, well, if it's not us, then who else would pick up these two players?
Exactly.
Now, he did say he's not in favor of players who have been part of an NFL roster returning to college football generally, but he noted that this specific instance involved only the class of 2022 recruits who are not informed of the potential for a fifth year or eligibility prior to entering the NFL draft. Because this just came down.
Right.
Because before it was, no, if you were part of the 2022 class and you've gone to the NFL, that's it. You sign a pro contract. Then the court order stated that you could come back for a fifth year. So if you had one more year and you were graduating, didn't go play pro football, you could come back for one more year.
Correct.
Because it all happened after the stance. It happened after it was all said and done. So he's now saying the NCAA did not institute its new 5-for-5 rule, allowing all players 5 full seasons of playing time in 5 years until June. Well, by that time, these guys had signed contracts.
They had.
And were getting ready to go to a camp. Now, okay, I get it. Now that's constituted that you're allowed to do it. So here's my question for Lane Kiffin out of players is if it was June that you're allowed to come back and you'd signed a contract and you didn't go to camp till mid-July, well, why not do it at the end of June? Just say, I want to dissolve my contract. Now I want to come back.
They were trying to make the team.
But they make the team. And here's also the other key. Those two individuals, Daquan Wright, the other individual, have to give their money back coming back to college, their bonus money or whatever they earned at that pro. So there's Lane Kiffin, as he always does, trying to spin on it.
But he was playing by the rules.
Exactly.
By the current rules, he is okay.
But your SEC says they're not in favor of it.
Yeah.
Where all the other conferences said we're not going to allow it.
Big Ten has already passed it. You wait for the Big 12, the Pac-12, and also the ACC to have similar votes as well. When we come back, Just Van Raaphorst is going to be our guest. We're talking ASU.
Cozy season is ahead, and you'll be spending way more time inside. Is your home ready? Don't worry. With Wayfair, you can upgrade your space without breaking the bank. Score up to 70% off during their Labor Day clearance on furniture, area rugs, mattresses, and more. Plus, surprise flash deals you can't miss. Whether it's one room or the whole house, Wayfair has pieces for every style and budget.
Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Monday Night Football starts early at Biggs with me, Jimmy B. And of course, I let Roc and Manuch hang out as well. Join us live every Monday from 1 to 4 for football talk, special guests, and your chance to win. Enter the Monday Night Tailgate. Stick around for a $25,000 halftime roll of the dice. Plus, win Biggs gift cards and even a big screen TV. Big Bud Lights, big burger specials, and big time football. Mondays are big at Biggs.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Roc and Manuch today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Right Honda in Scottsdale. New Hughes certified pre-owned. Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Go find yours here or online at wrighthonda.com.
Everybody here at Ride Honda. He is the 1987 Rose Bowl champion. He was the QB who was slinging it everywhere. Jeff Van Raaphorst is our guest. He now is, of course, part of the Sun Devil Radio Network. Jeff, welcome in. We look forward to having you on the show. I know that Kenny Dillingham has not come out and named a quarterback yet. But in your estimation, with what you've seen so far, do you have a feeling whom it might be?
No, I mean, I obviously they went out and got Boley from Kentucky, and I think he gives you a big body guy with a strong arm. I would think he'd be the number one, that would get the shot. And Mikey Keene's doing a nice job from what I've seen, what little I've seen, and then just hearing everybody. But it's interesting with a quarterback battle. You'd like somebody to separate and just make it so obvious, but we worry about it in the media. I think the coaches already know. They've already got that figured out. They're thinking ahead to the first, second, third game already, and so I'd be surprised if it wasn't Cutter. So when you, from what you've heard, Rapper, and what you've seen so far, what are some of the qualities for Boley when you watch this young man? This transfer, good size, got good arm, good ability, movement, et cetera, et cetera. What are some of the pros from that standpoint for your quarterback guy that you like about this young man?
Yeah, you kind of start with size, right? I mean, being able to see over the line and navigate the ball. It's hard really, and this, Manuch, when you watch a scrimmage because you're playing against your team, you get live bullets against somebody else. But, the thing you want to see you worry about from a big guy like that is accuracy. And, big body guys, foot placement, staying on rhythm, timing. In watching him in practice, what I like is when he's decisive with the ball, it comes out really good. It's, any quarterback, when they got to go from 2 to 3 or they got to move in the pocket, their eyes get affected, their ability to find a check down or another one and deliver an accurate ball. I think it's the last part of that sentence that Boley's going to have to really show us, because this touchdown to interception ratio wasn't real strong last year.
So, and I'm jumping ahead just a little bit with that place. With him starting against Morgan State, and you've been a quarterback for years. You've been broadcasting for many, many years. I mean, when you watch a young QB initially the first part of the season, when is it you see him get it? Is it that first game, or is it halfway through the season, the second game, the third game? When is it when you start to see him get it?
I wish I could tell you it was a certain game, but I think you have an idea of who the guy is by the third or fourth game.
Okay.
And, so for me, the third, depending on the schedule, the third or fourth game, I think we'll have a really good idea of who this team is, who the quarterback is, obviously, by the third game.
Sure.
Because you're going to have, an easy game up front, then you go to Texas A&M, in College Station. That's going to be just, probably as tough a game as any quarterback in ASU's history ever has had, as far as an opposing environment, right?
Sure.
And then you go on the road, you got to navigate that and play Kansas, in Wembley with that distraction. So, we'll know exactly, what we've got and how he's going to play. But, I think the other thing that, and Dan, you played the position, is some, good offenses can help a quarterback. And you can help them with a run game. You can help them with multiple wide receivers. And, that's one thing that ASU has this year is they've got a deep wide receiver set that they're going to be able to at least put a lot more pressure at multiple positions, in the passing game. Running game should be strong. And, arguably, it's probably one of the better setups for a quarterback in the last, 5-10 years as far as depth that Kenny's been able to build.
All right. So my follow-up question, because you referenced the game in London,
is that K who?
I know. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I cannot say K.
I know you can't. So, Jim, they didn't do international games when Manuch was playing, when you were playing. Now they fly all over the world to play football. Have you gotten an impact at all how it impacts the players and the coaching staff when you got to fly that long on the plane?
Well, when Dan's older than I am, and they, I was around with a jet engine. The blimp was really to get it back in Kansas. But yeah, I played in the preseason game with the Broncos, and we did it in London. And I think you look at a couple of things, right? Time zones, distractions. It'd be interesting to talk to Kenny about how he's going to work on install. He's going to have to get a lot of stuff done, in the first, especially in that first week. The second game, you got to throw everything that you can at Texas A&M. Then you got to clean stuff up. And I think that's going to be the challenge is, you're going to have a modified week. You got travel. And I think that's really kind of where the technology piece comes in that Dan and I didn't have. The ability for coaches to do cut-ups on a flight with Wi-Fi, throw it out to an iPad to a student 20 rows behind you, at 30,000 feet, and you're all of a sudden looking at, your red zone drill, Dan, or you're looking at, a blitz period. We didn't have that. We'd have to go back to a room and put up, videotape monitors and all that kind of stuff. So technology will help in that. I think the bigger thing with London that I'm looking at, you guys, is the sheer number of players that are traveling. NFL roster is going to take maybe 50 guys to London. We're probably taking 110. And so now you're looking at, split, how do you, and that's not counting trainers and equipment and logistics and everybody. So they're using multiple hotels. And I think it's a bigger apple than probably the people in Europe thought if they just thought they could go from a pro team and bring over a college team.
So Jeff, when you guys get done playing A&M, are you guys going to fly from there directly to London? Is that kind of the game plan that I'm hearing? Is that true?
That's what they're talking about. I'm not sure. I haven't seen their final of when they're going out. I'm actually going to take a couple of days off and go over to London and see. My daughter lives over in Germany with our two grandkids. My daughter ironically works for Adidas, which we're in Adidas school, so that works out well.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go over early and check it out and be around there. And I think the team's gonna do the same thing. And that's gonna be the interesting thing for Kenny to navigate, right? What a great experience, sure, for these players. At the same time, you got to win football games and get ready. And I don't call them college athletes anymore. Or student athletes, because I'm not sure what these guys are now. I think they're professional athletes that go to school.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother dialogue.
Yeah, we've had a few segments on that, Jim. You can imagine.
Football mercenaries.
I want to back up a little bit. Your Morgan State, it should be a good game. I call it. It should be a real nice scrimmage. A lot of guys play, and then you just mentioned you go right to the fire of A&M at College Station, and then you move on from there. How do you nowadays, Jeff, get ready where the physicality has been taken out of a lot of practices prior to Morgan State? Be physical, try to get things ironed out, and then go play big boy ball in big boy country. How is that going to work? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah. Well, I think you have to start preparing in January.
Sure.
And it comes with that strength program and your intensity. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen the new weight room that they just updated at ASU?
Yes, I did. I did see some video of that. Yes.
The virtual,
It
excuse
is
me, Jeff.
great.
I did the virtual tour.
Okay. You're a millennial now. That's good. I like that. Did you put a little thumbs up icon and did you have an emoji?
You better believe it, man. Hey, I might be old, but I'm growing. I'm gonna stay young. I'm 45 and holding, Rapper. Just so you know, I'm moving on.
You know, the nice thing is your radio partner, like when he gets emoji, you can just throw a rock up there and it's simple. You know who it is. I think what Kenny has tried to do, they gave us a tour of the new weight room, and it's all set up with multiple stations. There's this massive TV screen in there, and Kenny's trying to foster competition in everything that's done, and trying to maximize every day, every rep. And when you go into workout, you'll have a 25 or 28, 30 squat racks, and they're all hooked up to weights, and they're monitored. They got cameras, and it all shows on a big screen like a Peloton, and you can see everybody's output. And I think that's how you get ready for physicality, is you make the off season rough. Then when you go into Tonazona, you've got to hit. You've got to have live, contact. I was over at practice the other day and it was hot, and you make it miserable. Because going to College Station is going to be miserable. It's going to be physical and it's going to be intimidating. And, as much as you can get ready for it, you get ready for it. But at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to do what no ASU team has ever done. I don't know if any team in ASU history, I'm going to go back and look at it, other than maybe the two Rose Bowl teams that played in front of 100,000 people or near 100,000 people.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, because as you're talking, I'm sitting there going, well, when I got to K-State, how do you prepare yourself for going into Lincoln, Nebraska, or to Missouri, or to Norman, Oklahoma, or to Auburn, on and on and on. You just, those coaches have got you, and I thought it was a good comment that they get you ready in the spring to be able to handle it. Now, again, you got to ignore the noise if you can, but that's still going to be a hell of a learning experience, I would think, for those kids.
I'm really, yes, it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, if you're a coach, what a way to build on that. All right, guys, that's as bad as it's ever going to get.
Sure.
You just went through, the valley of Hades. And really now it's getting them focused up front. Like, you got a chance to do something to really set the world, the Jake Plummer 19-0 and, beat Nebraska, you have that opportunity. And I think it's a really good opportunity for Kenny and his staff. I'm really curious, though, you guys, about what happens. And I'm going to spend a lot of time looking into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and look at hydration and film and prep. Because that flight to London, I'm thinking it's 9 hours, eight or 9 hours.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Hey,
then you look at time zones, right?
Yep.
You got to get these guys hydrated. They're going to leave College Station Saturday night, fly back. I mean, there's going to be the medical crew is going to be worth their weight in gold this week. And we got, a great group with Jared Garcia, Anakar Chabra, and the Mayo guys.
All right. We'll let you run on this one. Morgan State is the opener. When you are a player, not a person or a player that has played 3 or 4 years, or this is like your 4th year. Let's say this is your 2nd year playing, and you're going to go up against Morgan State, knowing the following weekend is Texas A&M at Texas A&M. What's the mindset? Are you going to just say, okay, we could just get off the bus and win this game? Or because it's the first game of the season, are you still really fired up?
Yeah, no, I think you're fired up. I think Kenny's recruited guys that want to play. Every game is important. To me, I think having a tough number 2 makes you maybe dial in a little bit more for the opener. If you would have went Morgan State, Hawaii, it might be a tendency to say, okay, we got kind of 2 teams that we should win. And then there's this big game down the road. I think that behemoth in College Station lurking at number 2 would definitely have my attention. Like, okay, we've got one game to work through, all of our communication issues to make sure we're locked in. Then we got to clean it up, but we got to be pitch perfect week 2. I would think I would be a little more dialed in. What about you, Dan? What's your take?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got to be fired up, dialed in, because you got to get ready. I mean, you can't ignore Morgan State. Let's just put that. You got to be focused, dialed in. and take it one play at a time, and then you build off that going into Texas A&M. You can't overlook Morgan State and be worried or concerned. You just got to try to handle as best things as you can at Morgan State, and then build off from that standpoint.
Yeah, and I think the coaches, the way that people coach nowadays is they really focus on, the enemy's ourselves.
Sure.
And we've got to control. We've got to be, you hear all the cliches in football, but we need to be our best version, whether we're playing Morgan State or whether Texas A&M. And I thought in 2024, I thought Kenny's team really did a good job of that. Week in, week out, just when the ball was rolled out, those guys came to play. And I think that's what Kenny's looking for, is just a bunch of guys that no matter where, when, what the conditions are, going to scrap. And as a fan, honestly, I love that. I don't, going back and looking, remember the Dennis Erickson years?
Oh, yeah.
The people were getting turned off, fans were getting turned off to ASU football because of the big cyclical nature. The highs were great, the lows were great. And it was just this big whipsaw, what am I going to see each week? And then, Kenny stabilized it 2024 and it just played hard. Last year we got the injury bug, but I thought we played, relatively hard and did, pretty good job. But fans want to see consistency. Coaches are going to coach to that, and they're going to coach to all-out effort on that play and then move on. And it doesn't matter where that field is. But it's funny, we say all this stuff. If you're a fan, you're a dad, a parent, a grandfather, a brother, uncle, you circle the second week on your schedule.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a lie.
Oh, absolutely. And by the way, Rapper, there's Jeff Van Raaphorst modeling the 1986 uniforms. Some 40 years later, they're going to go back to them. Yeah. I think they focused on more Jeff Van Raaphorst in the pocket versus the Rose Bowl photo that it was. They kind of poo-pooed the Rose Bowl and gave all the love to the uniforms. I just kind of backhanded compliment there, Rapper.
It's crazy to think that long ago, but yeah, they're going back to the colors that we wore and the look, really the iconic look. And, I'm okay with the pitchfork, but I think Sparky just crushes it every day to have Sparky up there, maroon and gold, some of the logos. It'll be an interesting year, as teams reflect, on that Rose Bowl team and the colors. I'm super excited. I think they're going to try to do something at the end of the year. I know Graham Rossini's and the athletic staff are working on bringing everybody back, but we're certainly going to come back and cheer on and shake our heads and go, where did the decades go? And hopefully this team, plays with that same swagger, same physicality, same speed.
That's that, Rapper. You always look the part, buddy. You were good. You looked the part. You got the swag. By the way, Roc and I take extra large. Jimmy takes extra small. So when you see your daughter who works for Adidas, we're not that proud to not get some Adidas swag, Rapper.
Everybody loves swag, right? Dan was like this one on his recruiting trip to K-State too. This was his version of NIL, and he's still working it. I mean, it's
damn Skippy. Don't you forget it either, Rapper.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Great to have you on the show, Rapper. Thank you, man. That's Jeff Van Raaphorst, everybody. You can hear him. Sun Devil Radio Network. He is their radio analyst. And he is presented by Wright Honda, where we are located here in the showroom today.
And just remember, no payment for 90 days through Honda Financial for qualified buyers. You got exclusive finance programs through Wright Honda and Honda Financial Services. Here's a couple examples. How about 1.49% for 36 months on Accord hybrid models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers, or 1.49% for 36 months on all HRV models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers, and last but not least, 3.49% for 36 months on Civic gas models through Honda Financial Services for well-qualified buyers. All that right here at Wright Honda.
And we are here until 4 o'clock this afternoon. All right, a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to do some conversation about the upcoming final exhibition game for the Arizona Cardinals. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Make Azul Bar and Grill your new favorite hangout. Sing along with live karaoke, play bingo, catch the best local bands, or challenge your friends in the game room. Add great food, a fun atmosphere, and a place where everyone feels welcome. And you've got good times waiting at Azul, located at 3134 West Carefree Highway in Tremonto Plaza. See daily events and specials at azulgrill.com.
Lace up for a great cause. Join the 33rd Annual Frank Cush Youth Foundation Running for the Bronze on Saturday, October 10th at Tempe Beach Park during the Four Peaks Oktoberfest. Every step helps support youth athletics, including girls flag football, Lady Hawk softball, the Frank Cush Scholarship at ASU, Tempe Sister Cities, and kids throughout our community. Register, donate, or volunteer today at Oktoberfest.run. That's Oktoberfest.run. Run. Give back, make a difference.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Learn Rowe, and we've been serving Arizona's for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are live Fridays at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday Football Lock-In. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and win cash. Fridays 1 to 4, only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are back in Biggs American Bar and Grill for football on Monday nights. And the halftime roll for dough is now up to $25,000. Ice cold Michelob Ultra drafts, wall-to-wall TVs. Lock it in at BiggsPeoria.com. Biggs, where Peoria goes for football.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Here comes my baby, dragging my heart behind. He's driving me crazy. He says love is blind. You gotta
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live at Wright Honda, Arizona's #1 Honda dealer. WrightHonda.com.
From right corner of the end zone has a man that is caught. It's Simi Fielko with a touchdown for the Cardinals, who take the lead. 9:16 to play in the second. The new score, Cardinals 13, Raiders 7. 10-yard touchdown pass from Gardner Minshew.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. Rest in peace to the one, the only, Dolly Parton.
Gonna miss her.
Yep, absolutely. There is football Friday night. Manuch, I know that you would watch 4-year-olds play flag football in your backyard. I get that, but it's hard for me to get excited about watching 2, 3s, and 4s playing. And if it's going to be sloppy like it was last weekend, the interest is waning.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing from last week, I think I was disappointed that got a lot more starters didn't play.
Okay.
For whether it be the Dallas Cowboys.
I remember you championed that. Yeah. You wanted to see some guys out there.
And I think that this is it pretty much, I think, at the initial part of the season puts a little bit of a detriment to seeing a lot of teams hitting first gear or hitting all 4 gears until maybe the 3rd game or 4th game of the regular season. So when you look at this, and I think a lot of people echo your sentiments, Jimmy, that why do I need to watch just a bunch of backups, free agents, rookies play when we're seeing the sloppy play going up and down the field? for me, I like to watch coordination with quarterback receivers. Okay. I want to see how teams run block. I want to see how teams protect if their blitz is on. By the way, Nick Rawls, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, was bringing the heat a few times against the Cowboys, but they picked it up.
Right. They
found the man-to-man coverage, and they executed on it. And that's the other term I look forward to is no matter who's playing, how do they execute? Are they sloppy? Do they get the ball out? Do they block? Are they tackling? And aside, there was 3 drives. The Cardinals had the 3 drives. And you pretty much saw the 3 touchdowns called back, right? So if you're Rivaldo Fairweather, you're lucky you didn't get cut last week after that game. Because if this was back in the day, you would have been cut that night.
I was just going to say, they would have said,
You're
thank
done.
you, nice bowling.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck and good bowling.
Yes.
So let the door hit you in the rear end on the way out.
Yeah.
Because he was responsible. The 2 touchdown runs were holding on him.
Yes.
The touchdown catch to Fairweather was him. But he pushed off on the defender.
Yeah.
So there's 3 there. So those are the things I think you'd look at. If you're a fan, if you're a football junkie like myself or fanatic, is watching good, basic, fundamental blocking, tackling, execution of the passing game. Otherwise, you're just watching it for the sake of, God, I can't wait for this thing to get over. and we
exactly.
And we go to the regular season coming up September 9th and through that weekend to the 13th. So that's for me, and I think a lot of folks. If that guy's fighting for a second team spot, what is it? If he's helping to just make it, like you had Fehoko right there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice touchdown catch. He's had a couple in the preseason.
Yep.
What can he do as the 4th or 5th receiver? What can he do on special teams? I think you also look at Jalen Brooks. I think he might be the 4th receiver or the 5th, and he might be on kickoff returns.
Okay.
So the gist of that is if you're going to be a backup as a running back, receiver, it's like a tight end, whatever. If I'm going to keep you on my team, you've got potential, number 1.
Okay.
And then number 2, how are you going to serve me as far as special teams are concerned? So there's a lot more that I'm looking at in a game overall than just, oh, man, they sucked. They couldn't complete a pass.
That's how fans look at it.
They had 3 false starts.
Yeah.
They had 3 holding calls. They couldn't hit the water from the boat. Guys couldn't catch a cold in the middle of Antarctica naked in a freezer. I mean, just that kind of stuff you think about. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Execution.
All right. In 30 seconds, they're not going to play any starters.
Doesn't look like it at this time.
So does that wane your interest or not? Or are you just going to stand on that hill that you just talked about?
No, I think there'll be some starters on defense. I want to say that I look at the back position,
right?
And I think right now with Denzel Burke, Starling Thomas the 5th, and Max Melton, there's some competition.
Okay.
The other side, pretty much Will Johnson's going to start.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think Sean Murphy-Bunting will get some reps. And then the slot corner, I think it could come down between Garrett Williams and Isaiah Oliver. Now, I think that combination of those 3 positions, you may see starters, backups playing a lot. Buda Baker doesn't need to play.
No, he does.
So Katong Crawford will probably play most of the game. And you might see Isaiah Oliver move over to strong safety. There'll be a combination, I think, more on the defensive side than the offensive side. But I will say this. As far as the offensive side, I think that offensive line, for a lot of the guys like the Hayden Connors of the world, the Josh Fryers of the world, and Oli Uda of the world, they need to be consistent in their blocking, pass blocking, and run blocking to assure that they're still going to be in a backup role on that offensive line.
All right, we're here at Wright Toyota. We're going to be here until 4 o'clock. Where are we going to be on Thursday? At Twin Peaks. That's right, in Tempe. That's it, Twin Peaks in Tempe. And we're going to be there with all of our friends, and people are going to be throwing down Michelob Ultras and Bud Lights. And right now, Twin Peaks also has Busch Light aluminums as well. We'll see you in the marketplace in Tempe on Thursday. It is Twin Peaks. When we come back, more on the upcoming Packers and Cardinals Bob McManaman is going to be our guest. Right now, let's get you to a 620 ESPN Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs were shut out 7-0 by the Cubs last night as they dropped the first of 3 from Chase Field. But Arizona will look to bounce back tonight and even the series at a game apiece as they try to pick up ground in what is a tight National League wildcard race. Brandon Pfaadt will get the start for the Snakes with first pitch set for 6:40 and pregame coverage getting underway at 6 on 98.7 FM, also streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Sports Update is driven by Wright Honda. Huge selection, no games, no pressure. Visit Wright Honda at 7875 East Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, just across from TPC Scottsdale, or shop anytime at wrighthonda.com. That's anytime at wrighthonda.com.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Arizona. Get ready for live music and golf under the lights. Saturday, September 12th, Yellow Jacket Overtime takes over grass clippings in Tempe. See Arizona native and national recording artist Sydney Bird live at 6:30. GA and VIP tickets, private seating, and night golf foursomes are available. Plus, every ticket supports Arizona classrooms through Wishes for Teachers. Yellow Jacket Overtime, September 12th. Tickets at yjovertime.com.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Football season doesn't take days off, and neither does Twin Peaks. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B kick it off live every Thursday. 29-degree Michelob Ultra and Bud Light. Scratch-made eats. Wall-to-wall screens. Twin Peaks. Every day is game day.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
This September, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B take over DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the Friday football lock-in. Think you know football? Prove it. Pick 5, take the call-in challenge, and play for cash giveaways. Real competition, real money, more ways to win. No purchase necessary, no bet required. Join Roc and Manuch Fridays from 1 to 4 at DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale. Friday football lock-in. Only on ESPN Phoenix 620.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy D. are back in Biggs American Bar and Grill for football on Monday nights. And the halftime roll for dough is now up to $25,000. Ice cold Michelob Ultra drafts, wall-to-wall TVs. Lock it in at BiggsPeoria.com. Biggs, where Peoria goes for football.
Let's go inside the Cards locker room and down to the field with Bob McManaman. Bob's been covering Arizona sports for the Arizona Republic and AZCentral.com since 1981. Now, Arizona Republic columnist Bobby Mack on ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, we are here at Wright Honda in Scottsdale. Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard is where we are located. And we've got another half hour here at this great location. Bobby Mack is our guest. You can follow him on X at AZ Bobby Mack. Again, that's at AZ Bobby Mack. Robert, welcome, pal, as always. So I asked Manuch this question. I'll ask you the same question. How excited are you about Friday night?
I don't know what's happening Friday night.
I think he just answered the question.
He did. He did. See, Manuch went on this spiel about, well, I'm looking at it like a coach. I'm going to watch this and this and this. And you and I are like, well, what's happening on Friday night?
They're not going to play their starters or anything, so it's going to be a snooze fest, in my opinion. The practice will be interesting, maybe, but last preseason game of the year is a snooze fest.
Yeah, it's just so interesting that, and I agree to that point. I'm looking at rookies and free agents and all that kind of stuff. I've got some. I need therapy a little bit, Bob. I love watching this stuff. But from that standpoint, how is he going to control it? How is he going to get these guys ready with virtually almost 3.5 weeks before you play against the Chargers? Will a lot of the main work come from the joint practices if you're not going to get any work at all in the Friday night preseason game?
Well, some guys will get work. They just won't be on the team. So they'll get work in Tempe and in the meeting rooms and in the film rooms, and hopefully they're ready. It's nice to see that they signed Froholt to an extension, and they got Josh Sweat back, and they finally did something with Trey Benson. That's all good news. Had to sign the players because of some injuries, so they're being proactive. How ready will they be? I don't.
Bob,
yes.
I lost you there just for a second, but you're back now. So my follow-up to that is that now after they played this game on Friday, they don't do anything for almost 3.5, 4 weeks. I mean, isn't that what am I doing?
September 13th is quicker than that, isn't it?
No. You got 2 weeks. You got this Sunday.
Yeah.
Then you got 2 weeks. So it's 3 weeks. So if you're not playing this week, you will have not played.
Yeah.
For 4 or 5 weeks. It's 5 weeks for some guys.
Oh, I don't know. More time the merrier for me. I know that. I think once they get back into Tempe and huddle up, they'll be just fine. And just fine might be pushing it a little bit, but they'll be back to where their roots are, and they'll get back to business. And I don't know really how much this preseason helped the Cardinals or hurt the Cardinals at all. I thought it would help them, but I don't think it really has. I think they didn't learn as much as they should have. They lost a couple key guys to some weird injuries, and there are some positives. Like I said, Josh Sweat is back. Let's see what he's able to do this week, if he's able to do anything. That's a positive. Now, if somebody else could just step up and learn how to sack a quarterback, we'll be okay.
Well, and Bob, I think that's what Jimmy was alluding to. This team needs so much work, and you're not seeing a lot of work from the starters. And from that standpoint, even some of the second teamers. So if they're not getting the work in the preseason at all, and practice is one thing, so how's that going to help in September 13th if this team goes 3-14 is not getting I call it necessary work to become better versus just practicing?
Well, like I said, I think they're getting work in training camp practices. I do believe playing live action does help in most cases for a lot of players. But do you think they're going to run Josh Sweat out against the Packers? I don't know if they should or if they would. I don't think they will.
Well,
that's what you have training practices for.
Yeah. So what's going to be the game plan? Are you aware of what they're looking for when they have the joint practices starting tomorrow? What is the game plan to try to assimilate as much as they can? We all talk about the work, getting their work in, knowing they're going to have 2 weeks off before that first game.
I think they're going to go ones versus ones, opposing teams, which I think is smart if they stick to that plan. And there'll be, offense versus defense on one side, the same on the other. And that'll be good. First, second team gets their chances on different fields. That's usually how it's done, but we'll see. There's been so many fights during these things that I'm sure something's going to happen. I don't think you're going to see the LaFleur brothers meet at the 50 and duke it out.
Well, if it's any solace to the team, it's any solace to the team.
Like that.
Yeah, Bob, if it's any solace to the team, weren't the Texans and Saints each fined $500,000 for the brouhahas that they had? Maybe that's a sign for the coaches to tell these guys, "Hey, back away, or we're going to get fined $500,000."
Yeah, and the coaches, the brothers, have talked about that. So I think it'll be scaled down to a point where that if something does happen, it'll be quick and painless, hopefully, and nobody jumps in and makes it worse. That's what you hope for. You want to get production here. You want to get something out of this, not just to blow off stress and steam. So, but again, I'm not going to be there, so I won't be able to tell you what's happening. You guys will have to check out Easy Central and Teo Mackey.
We will do it.
See, that's
right.
what we do, Bob. We rely on you, and then when you tell us, "Hey, I'm not going to be there," okay, then we go to Easy Central and we dial everything in. It works perfect for us.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm doing.
You work for them.
So what's the latest with Carson Beck, Bob? What's the scoop? Is he going to play, or he's questionable? What's the deal with him?
Up in the air. There's a chance. There's also a chance he won't.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd like to see him play a little bit if the ribs allow, and even if it's just a couple series, I think that would be good for him. I think he should be fine by now, but if you ever had rib issues, you know what it's like. They do tend to last, and they get to feel worse a couple weeks after the initial injury. And that could be painful, especially for a quarterback. Now they could suit him up, protect him with flak jacket, do some stuff. I think it would be great to see him get a series or two in him, regardless of whenever you want to put him out there. But I think you got to be careful with him.
Okay. One of the things that I found interesting is what are they going to do at running back? They're just going to play the Bam Knights and Kiner and those guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what they got to do. You don't want to risk Tyler Algier, and they're not going to play Jeremiah Love, and it doesn't look like James Conner is ready for anything. So that's what you have to do. And then, you got more decisions to make about, what the order is going to be. I think it's going to be Algier and Love, and eventually, after a week, maybe two, Love is going to be the guy. I don't think it should even be that long of a process. They're going to want to roll out a lot of different things they're not capable of doing right now, like 13 personnel, which means run. But I think they got to make sure that Love is ready. I think he will be. I certainly hope he should be ready by opening day. I'd start him, but that's just me. And I'm not like LaFleur.
Bob, before you came on the last segment, as I went on a diatribe of why you should watch the last preseason game, one of the areas is we talked about competition. And I got to imagine competition at cornerback and as well as receiver, those last remaining spots, or on the cornerback side, who those potential starters might be aside from Will Johnson. But I think the receiver side, there's some good competition on who they keep as the 4, 5, and 6 receiver.
Yeah, and it'll only be 6. There's no way they're keeping 7. And M.A. Piecoro is making a case to be number 7, but I don't think he's going to make it. And, the returner guy, Devin, is
Duvernay.
I just wonder, is that worth, a roster spot? And I think it is for this team for now. It doesn't mean things.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
I think 7, maybe 8 are under consideration there. So it's going to be interesting. And I think Piecoro is the one that's going to be kind of left in a lurch. But, you got the practice squad. So, and there's other teams out there that are going to want to jump on guys. So we'll see. We'll see.
Always good, pal, when you come on the show. We will not ask you next week about this game, okay? I promise.
I will be over by then, Jim.
You're the best. Bob McManaman.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, man. You have a good day.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, man. There you go. Bobby's presented today by All City Towing. It is the state's largest towing company. And look, if you're stranded someplace or you just need professional transport, this is the company that you will call. All City Towing. They've got the experience to get the job done right. The best part, 24/7. That's right. Those are their hours of operation, 24/7. And you will talk to a live person, not some machine. 24/7. All City Towing. By the way, if you're looking for a new gig, well, they're looking for you. They need drivers. They need dispatchers. And they're looking for them right now. If you're interested, just go online, allcitytowing.com. Again, that's allcitytowing.com. All right, coming up, Learner and Row, one call. That's all. We continue here for another segment at Wright Honda. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Fight Night is back. The only place to catch every punch, kick, and knockout is Twin Peaks. Settle in with scratch-made favorites, legendary wings, and 29-degree drafts that hit colder than a heavyweight takedown. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you won't miss a moment. Grab your crew and make it a fight night to remember. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Ball players, legends. One incredible weekend of golf. It's the MLB Retired Players Association Celebrity Classic, September 19th through the 21st at Ocotillo Golf Club in Chandler. Play around paired with an actual MLB player, plus swag, breakfast, and lunch, while raising money for retired players, kids with autism through music movement, and ASU baseball scholarships. Foursomes are going fast. Register today at music-movement.org. That's music-movement.org.
Hey, it's Jimmy B. Football season is here, and there's never been a better time to grow your business. Partner right now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, with live endorsements, show sponsorships, featured segments, remote broadcasts, and so much more. YouTube, social media, and commercials, all built around your goals and your budget. Visit rocandmanuch.com and click advertise. Let's grow your business together.
Looking for a new ride? Make the right choice. Wright Honda in Scottsdale. Whether you're shopping for a fuel-efficient Civic, a family-friendly CRV, the rugged Passport, or the all-new Accord, Wright Honda has the selection, value, and customer service Arizona drivers trust. Plus, their experienced service team is here long after the sale. Visit the showroom on Scottsdale Road just south of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, or shop anytime at wrighthonda.com. That's wrighthonda.com, where Arizona drives. Wright Honda.
Home. It's more than a place. It's love,
laughter, joy. It's where we belong.
Home is wherever you are, buddy.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you're not only giving them a home, you're finding yours too. You're finding love, laughter, and an unbelievable new best friend. Adopt your very own crypto. Visit bestfriends.org/Supergirl. And together, we will save them all.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is a really difficult position that Cattell has put Torrey in. I think Torrey's doing his best to, toe that line. I think these guys are going to ultimately, welcome him back. I'm not sure they're going to, welcome him back with open arms or, sing kumbaya or whatever, but I think that they're going to be glad to have him back because he's a really good baseball player. And they're just going to try to move forward as best they can because he's going to help them win games.
That is Nick Piecoro, Arizona Republic beat writer, covers the team. He was on with us earlier today about the Cattell Marte situation and what a difficult spot that Torrey Lovullo, the skipper of the D-backs right now, has been placed in. By the way, we had our State 48 Roofing Get Your Call question of the day, and it was essentially about Cattell Marte. And are you for him returning or are you against him returning? What'd you come up with there?
Yeah, it's interesting because the question with 5 weeks left, are you with or without Cattell Marte? So, Laz, we're going to defer to you. A, was without too big of a distraction, or B, with. He's an all-star. You can still go to at Roc and Manuch on X and at Roc and Manuch on Instagram. Which way are the folks leaning?
Believe it or not, which actually surprised me, 66.7% of the audience voted that they're better with Cattell Marte, and the other 33.3% said they are better without Cattell Marte.
Well, I get that they're better.
Well, they're better. I mean, but are you with or with? That's not the question. It's not. It's are you with or without him? Basically, hey, look, if I'm without him, too big a distraction. Or with him, he's an all-star. Now, we know that he's better, but are you happy to not have him, or are you happy? So,
yeah.
Do you think they understood the question there, lad?
I think what they meant is they'd rather have him because he gives the D-backs a better chance of making the playoffs, or without because it's addition by subtraction and he's become a locker room cancer. I think they caught on to it, though. But it seems like the majority of D-back fans out there listening would rather have him back with the club for this playoff push.
Okay, so that's kind of a description of our society right now. We're a very enabling, entitling society versus standing on principle and verb, okay? And that's kind of like, well, you know what? He's better. Is he really? He gets in there? Is he not going to be a distraction? You got all this minutia surrounding him on top of it. So I just sit there and go, well, we know he's going to be better. And it's like, well, there's 5 weeks left and we really need him versus, hey, how about we stand on some principle for what this guy's done, not once, not twice, but 3 times to this team. And how can you trust him? So
that's, for me, that's the big point right there. How could you trust him?
Yeah, so I voted with because he's too big of a distraction. Okay. And on top of that, I think what's happening is those players in that clubhouse, whether they realize it or not, is management, i.e. Torrey Lovullo, i.e. Mike Hazen, or ownership are going, they're enabling a guy for doing some bad things. Okay, you know what? Just don't let it happen again, Johnny. Okay, that's twice. Hey, we really don't want you to do that again. And number 3, hey, Johnny, we told you not to do that anymore because it really disrupts. But you know what? That's okay. Come on back. Sooner or later, those guys in that clubhouse go, what the hell's going on here?
Well, but baseball, 3 strikes and you're out.
Exactly.
Right? 3 strikes and you're out.
Exactly. So my opinion, my feeling is, hey, look, we get it. Yeah, he's better with this team, and I get it. They're in the hunt for a wild card, but don't you have to take a stand? Don't you have to say, moral compass for that clubhouse?
Maybe not.
And so these other guys, well, if I screw up and I do something wrong, am I going to get 3 chances?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, the first time it's shame on me. Second time it's shame on you, and you're gone or you're moved or whatever it is. So, and I also believe that there's not one guy that's any bigger or better than that team than those other 25 guys in that clubhouse. So, just my opinion. I'd be a little old school of heartburn over this, but it's like over and over and over again. At what point do you say enough's enough?
I know.
You know what? Sorry, you brought this on yourself, you tell. And on top of it, he hasn't been to see this ball club yet.
No, that's where I really say, okay, enough is enough. He has not had any meetings with any of his teammates. He met with a couple of front office and Torrey over at Salt River Field, and that's it. Even Torrey Lavello, after the games, has said, I haven't heard from him since that meeting.
And he also said he's very heartbroken. He felt betrayed to what happened after the meeting.
Yeah.
So they obviously had an understanding in that meeting of how they're to move forward. And then to come back and just say the next day or a couple of days later, like, well, I feel betrayed. I feel